are ready to rock and roll. Yes, sir, from Toyota of Hollywood, where we're at every single Thursday here on the program. We're going to have a lot of fun, as always, here on the show. Sorry we're a tad late here on the program, appearing a little late here. We got to do better in getting on time there. My bad.
You know how we're one of everything at VSS, one of everything at Caneswear?
Yeah.
How about one of everything on the showroom?
Yes, that's right. You'll get one of everything out here at the showroom, and these supers are super.
Saw a 70 and 80-year-old man and woman looking at the car and looking at. She just, oh my God, that's like a race car.
Yeah. Well, it drives like one. I can tell you that. It's got.
Dude, if that thing had wings, you could go out into outer space in it. Okay,
yeah,
that's the way it looks.
It's got some power. That's for damn sure. And we'll be out here, by the way, till 3:00. We got a slew of guests for you on the show. So if you want to get in, you can always join us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, which is 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, better yet, come on out to 1841 North State Road 7, right? Just a couple blocks south of that giant guitar there in Hollywood. So come on by, man. Join us, man. We'll have some fun out here on the program. So please, we'd love to meet you. We'd love to meet the folks that are always listening, downloading the program, supporting us and our incredible sponsors however you can. Always appreciate that. Got a bunch of things to talk about. Heat and Panthers are off, so it's one of those lame times right now locally, right, for sports. Like, we have the Super Bowl in town, which is great, but that doesn't happen until Sunday. Outside of that, there really isn't, much.
Back in the day, I can remember a lot of times there being basketball games and hockey games and people going to them. I don't understand why they shut down this week. Does it make sense?
This week, they didn't schedule a lot of the games here in town, which is kind of weird.
It doesn't make sense, right?
No, it doesn't actually.
You're going to have a plethora of people in here with money. Man, have a game.
And by the way, it's not really like you've got a concert every night in those places either. No. Actually, I know Guns N' Roses is when? On Saturday, is it?
It's either tomorrow night or Saturday.
I think it is, right? Too expensive. I could not go to that one. Thank the Lord I've seen Guns N' Roses the last couple of... it was cheaper for me to drive up to Orlando and stay the night, go to Guns N' Roses, and then come down than it is to buy the ticket now at the AAA. I mean,
when the Euchre seats are running $250.
Oh, yeah, and we were on the floor. We were like 40 rows away from the stage, and we had the Cult opening up, which was awesome.
Wow.
Although here they added Snoop Dogg, which is pretty cool. Weird, because you go from Snoop Dogg to Guns N' Roses, which is kind of odd.
Kool and the Gang and Van Halen. That's about...
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm with you there. Folks are chiming in, which we love you for it. 72 Fins logo saying good morning. Flipside Fishing, good morning. The draft seems like forever away. Flipside, don't think that, because everybody said that about the NFL season. Oh, my Lord, we got to endure this whole Dolphin season. And it went by super fast, man.
Man, that East-West and the Senior Bowl came up on us quick.
Right, quick. We're already past that. So before you know it, next month we'll be at the Combine, and before you know it, the draft will be here. We'll be in Vegas, and we'll be ready to go. So don't worry about that.
Blink your eye, and it'll be here, man.
Yeah. The good thing is, the Dolphins have some time to prepare for all this stuff. So that's actually the important stuff. Dougie Fresh says, morning, fellas. Care to chime in about the NBA saying no to Kobe being the template for the NBA logo? Dougie Fresh, you'll have to download that podcast, because that was talked about yesterday on the show. So it's there. You can go and download it. That's the beauty of what we do now, is we don't repeat things over and over again. But we addressed it all yesterday. I gave my thoughts on it. It's all there in the podcast. You can download it yesterday. We were on top of it. Don't worry about it. We're all over it. Flipside Fishing says, I'm getting anxious. Go Gators says, guys, the offseason hasn't even started. A lot of time between now and the draft, and that's all right. We get to talk. We get to, find out about things and players and things like that. Big O contacted Tommy Rockers yesterday. Tommy was not there, but Kyle, the GM, was. Kyle knows not. Yeah, Kyle, you can't talk to the other employees. Only Tommy knows about what we're doing, and you got to talk to the boss. Okay, so the boss is the guy that's really in charge, not any of the other guys. Emilio Nunez, good morning, boys, from Lafayette, Indiana. We'll see you soon, man. Come on down to downtown Indianapolis.
Lafayette, isn't that where all the windmills? That's right where the windmills are, right?
I have no idea.
They have that big water tower.
I know Palm Springs has all the windmills.
No, coming back from Chicago, going through Indiana, I want to say that there's like the water tower says Lafayette, and then that's where all the power generator windmills are.
I have no idea. But
maybe you could give us a chime in.
Maybe
and see if I'm right. I think
Emilio will tell you if you're right or wrong. I guess if he is watching and listening.
I seem to remember that.
Yeah. Let's see. He said he was working with Mark Angelo through you guys for the reservations. Mark's not handling reservations, and neither am I. It'll all be Tommy Rockers. Okay, guys, we're not in charge of any of that stuff.
You're not taking placement of the tables and setting everything up like the wedding man.
Yeah. We gotta talk to Mark so he can get Tommy in gear now, and people can start reserving, because I think it's important for people to already start reserving, and it's good for them to already have,
Well, that way they could put the labor to the number. You know what I mean? You can accommodate us properly. Take care of us.
Dougie Fresh says, you didn't have to get all dressed up for us, by the way. Yeah, no concert shirt today. You're right.
Are you going somewhere after the show?
Yeah.
You got to look the part?
Yeah, I've even got a long sleeve shirt in the car, too, on top of all of that.
Oh, so you're going to even fancy up even more?
Yeah, I'm going to a couple of places today.
Are you walking a runway, man, for some modeling agency or something? Is that going on?
Definitely is not going to happen anytime soon or ever. Or forget it, any chance in my lifetime.
You could dream.
I could dream. Yeah, dreaming is free, as Blondie would say. There's no doubt about that. We got a loaded program for you today. We got a bunch of guests for you on the show. We will have at 11:30. At noon, Brian Edwards. That'll be our Hialeah Park handicapping investment segment. So we'll talk all kinds of props for the Super Bowl. We'll get his thoughts on the Super Bowl. Anything else that he wants to bet on, a roach race, anything. Dan Stubbs, the former Miami Hurricane great. We'll get Danny on. He's a buddy and a friend for a long time. Always kind enough to join us on the program, so we'll get his thoughts on the Canes. And remember, Dan Stubbs was drafted by who? The San Francisco 49ers. And last time I checked, I think they're in the Super Bowl. So we'll talk to Dan about that. He also played for, the Dolphins too, and a slew of other teams.
Hometown guy.
Yeah. So we'll talk to Dan, and we'll get his thoughts on the Canes, and we'll get his prediction on the Super Bowl. Evan Silva, owner and covers the NFL for EstablishTheRun.com. So we'll have a little fun with Evan there. We'll talk all things Super Bowl with Evan. So we'll have a little fun there. So we got several guests for you here on the program, so we can have a little fun and talk a little sports. Obviously, I've got on my own tons of topics that I want to get into. Eric is asking, where's our buddy Joe? Let's trade for Richard Sherman. Eric, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about with where's our buddy Joe. Don't know what that means. And then let's trade for Richard Sherman. I don't know what. Are you talking to somebody else on the chat board, not us? Because I have no idea what you're smoking or saying.
At his age, Richard's got to come with a discounted price, correct?
No, I don't even know why you would even bring that up. I have no idea why anybody would even trade for Richard Sherman at this point in time. He's fine where he's at right now. I think he's in the Super Bowl. He's got a shot at winning another title. I think he's perfectly fine where he's at. But whatever that is on the chat board, we thank you for watching and listening, Joe. That's what we thank you for. That is.
Don't forget, put a thumbs up, please. Thumbs up.
All right. You called out Joe for wanting Dolphins to do stupid things. Like who? What Joe? Are you talking about Rose? Oh, if it's Rose, yeah, no, well, I mean, that kind of is a tradition for me calling Joe out for a lot of stupid things that he would say about the Dolphins. I mean, that's normal. That's, it's like Ndamukong Suh or that Fasano's the number one tight end or whatever. Yeah, no,
Is that like you
that's like-
breathing? Like you breathing?
yeah, that's, I mean, that's an old tired story there. I don't even know why you bring that up, but whatever. I played college football with Stubbs' nephew or cousins. Can't remember their relation. Okay. We will talk to Dan Stubbs at 2:00. We'll have a little fun with Dan here on the program. We got a lot of things to actually talk about with him here on the show. If you want to get in, of course, you can get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, which is 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always at Big O Show. And of course, make sure you support us on YouTube at Big O Radio Show and on Instagram also, Big O Radio Show. And remember, you can subscribe to the podcast. Just in case you're watching, you can subscribe to the audio podcast, which is thoroughly broken down by my partner in crime here, and Bill, at Big O Radio Show on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud. All of those are there for you, so all the platforms that you can listen to us. Big O, what concert did you get that shirt from? This one I got it. I got it from the Ralph Lauren's.
Oh, you know what? You went to Boca. Did you do some of the polo games?
Yes.
And that's where you got that
Yes.
from? One of the polo matches?
Yes, I did a little polo. And everybody was watching me drinking a cup with their pinkies up, sipping, and yes.
Very ooh la la.
So I figured shirt and, be. NorCal says, wake and bake. NorCal, you need to call Tommy Rockers because people are contacting us here and all over, and they want to reserve. So they keep asking, what was it, Lyle or somebody else that was there, and they had no idea what they're doing. So we need to talk to Tommy Rockers and need him to start taking reservations because people are ready to reserve already. So, which is smart, by the way, because it's 3 days, and you want to reserve your table for 1, 2, or 3 days out there with us and have some fun. So, yeah, I mean, I don't blame you if you want. Hey, we reserved our plane tickets already to go to Oakland and then go to Las Vegas. We reserved our tickets, right, to go to the Pearl Jam concert, right, that kind of stuff. So we got to do the same thing for everything else. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we got to get Tommy in gear here so we can we got people in demand, which is a beautiful thing for Tommy Rockers. Love that. I can't wait to be hanging out with you guys for 3 days. It's awesome. And again, on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, we have Nora chiming in to say, happy to say, since then, I have helped families in so many ways in the process of closing their homes. Wanted to ask you, are you ready to come to an agreement with me and pay cash for your property? And keep asking.
Here, I got something for them in NorCal.
Oh man, I it's funny how you're not even selling anything, but they want you to sell something that you're not selling. It's kind of weird. It's just odd. You know what I'm saying? It's just odd. It just is. NorCal says, I'm on it. We will have it locked down real soon. So there you go. Hey, not Cal. Kyle said you guys are handling reservations for a Count on People. Kyle said they are preparing and would be ready. Well, we're not doing anything. Okay, they're doing it.
We're showing up,
We're showing up for the
doing our
broadcast.
show.
That's it. We're not
plugging
in
in the things, hooking up the mics.
Yeah, we're not in the restaurant business, dude. Okay, we got enough things that we're trying to balance. Okay, like right now, I feel like the dude on a unicycle juggling, and then at the same time, I'm balancing crap on my head.
Plates and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I feel like right now, trying to juggle everything I'm trying to juggle in my world at this point in time. There is no way that I'm also going to try to juggle any kind of reservations for anything or Bill. We got
No, used to do the bar and restaurant business.
No.
Got out of that. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, no, yeah, we're not. User Tom says, what up, Big O? Eric, you might want to retract because O has said he is not a Herbert fan. Oh, give us your take. Oh, what on? Well, Eric, it's really easy. You want my take on Herbert? Go to the podcast. It's all there. In fact, there's one there from, just a couple days ago. There are 2 different ones about Herbert. You can see it all there. That's the beauty of the podcast, man. It's all there for you on demand. Whatever you want my take on, it's probably already there. Unless it's something really fresh and really new, then we'll probably talk about it today
Let me ask you a question.
on the program.
Here, obviously, they're going to do a bunch of interviews, stuff like that. If Herbert stands out in the interview portion of things,
Right.
does that maybe shift your opinion of the guy, or
no,
is it
not-
just how he's carried himself so
Yeah,
far?
because
that
it's
the
not a
track record's established.
Yeah, because what you do...
Talk is cheap.
Yeah, what you tell me that you are or whatever, it's how everything else is measured. And it's what, I'm sure they're going to ask his coaches, maybe some of the teammates, people around him, all that
Teachers,
stuff. They're going to
the
find
high school coach.
They're going to find out about everything they possibly
So they're going to
can
have
about
the
kid.
lay of the land, really,
Yeah, and we know already a lot of stuff. So what do you think they know?
based on a couple people we've talked to that actually covered him
Yeah.
and were there every day.
Yeah. So you can, Eric, you can go again on SoundCloud there, and you can listen to all of that stuff. We break it down with Justin Herbert here on the program. All right. We got a bunch of things that I want to get into here on the show. Heat are off, by the way, and so are the Panthers. They're all back on Saturday. So we'll hopefully get back on to talking about something locally on Sunday, actually, on Super Sunday, which, by the way, we will be on the Mad Dog channel on Sirius. We'll be on channel 82 from 3 to 6:25 on Sunday, leading you right up to kickoff. So we will have our own Super Bowl show nationally on Mad Dog there. So we
Have you seen it chime in from Lakeisha, man?
no, I have
'Cause
not.
She was, you know what I mean? She was
hardcore.
every
we
day.
haven't we haven't seen
Lakeisha,
Lakeisha.
where are you?
Yeah, where is Lakeisha?
Are you okay?
Yeah, hopefully Lakeisha's fine, and hopefully we have not heard from her. User Tom says, "Big O, congrats on the 1,000. Thank you. Appreciate
Is it driving
that.
you a little bit crazy, the fact that you aren't going to see it again until 1.1? Because I know how you like to check our stats, see exactly.
Yeah, well,
where-
it's
is
one-
Is it driving you a little crazy? That
I think now it says 1.03, so I'm taking that's 1,030.
Yes.
That's I
Okay.
guess that's
So
how you
they're-
read it.
Okay.
Is that how it
They're
is,
giving
ladies
you
and
the
gentlemen?
10th. Yes, the 10th.
Yeah, because it says 1.03, so I would
Because
imagine
the 1 point is 1,000. The next spot
the
would be
100,
the 100.
and then that would be the tens.
The
So
tenths.
we're already 30 over the 1,000 already from yesterday.
Okay.
So it is picking up
still
steam.
moving up in the world.
So we love that. We got to keep building it and building it and building it, which is a beautiful thing, and we thank all of you for that. It's been amazing. We climbed up really quick to get to the 1,000. So we appreciate that.
You guys
immensely.
are absolutely every day blowing
day.
us away.
Yep, no doubt about it. So we thank you, of course, for that incredible support that you guys have given us every single day. We will have Brian Edwards at noon, so we'll talk all things gambling with him. Since I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, what angle do I use here in the Super Bowl? What do I do? I'm a little.
Who's going to be the first player
and
to have
today-
their shoe get untied?
And today I'm frustrated because I was brushing my teeth, and I forgot to put my Invisaligns on after. So now I have no Invisaligns on.
What?
This is the first time that I'm going to go like several hours without it, which absolutely sucks. But yeah.
How did you do, dude? That's
because
so
you have
not you.
You got to take them off a couple times a day,
Yeah,
to brush
of
your
course.
teeth.
Right.
And so, it's I'm brushing my teeth and I'm rushing to get out and come here and I completely forgot about my Invisaligns.
And it isn't like you're right down the street.
No.
You cannot.
No.
You're already on this side of town. That's not an
Yeah,
option.
I'm in Hollywood and I got to go to Hialeah right after this, and then I got to go back up to Hollywood for the evening and then go home to West Kendall. So yeah, we're
How
having
many miles do you have on your brand new car already, sir?
It's almost 2,000. We're almost at 2,000.
Already?
We're almost at 2,000. We have like I think it's like 1850 or
And
something.
you're just a little over a month, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Yeah, we just completed a month. Yeah.
2,000.
Wait a minute. We completed a month with about 8 days of those out of town.
Oh yeah, that you didn't even rack a mile at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's actually
that's why I buy and I don't lease. That's
oh no.
my TSX had 200,000 miles, so it is.
No.
what it is.
The least people would be like, "Oh, we're so nice to see you, and you're returning your car, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you."
Yep. So, how did you and Bill get together? I never heard the backstory. If you don't mind sharing, high school, bro, high school.
13. I was 13. You were 14, man.
Yeah, something like that. So
Sophomore year.
yeah,
Ever since then, attached at the hip.
right. That's it. Basically,
Pretty much.
Summer of 9th grade, right? Is that what it was?
No, it was actually when we got to Hialeah.
Right. Oh, highly. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, 82. Since
10th grade, sophomore
since
year.
1982. I've been stuck with his ass.
Probably.
So yeah, 82.
Unfortunately, I think the only time we've ever gone like a month with only talking 3 or 4 times was when you were in Europe.
Right. Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, even when I moved to Stewart, was away at school,
Mm-hmm.
never a couple of days at the most
Yep.
without shooting it.
That's right. Yep. So I've had to endure a lot in almost 40 years. So there's your story. Yeah. Bags. It's his fault. Any white hair, his fault.
My Crohn's, my stress, his fault.
There you go. See. Let's see what else do. Big O Show will broadcast all 3 days of the draft as it happens. As soon as Tommy Rockers and I lock in the final details, I'll post it here. Will be room for more than we originally thought. I like it. Yes.
If I had to venture a
Nevada
guess-
has laws about reservations at places with gambling. We will have room for everybody. You see? There you go.
Tommy had talked about.
So there are some issues, right? But you'll listen. We'll have plenty of room. You guys will join us, and listen. The best part about it is you get to stop at a dispensary before, so you can relax. Okay, so don't worry about it. All right, and the dispensaries there are 24 hours a day. Yeah.
So you never run out.
Yeah, they have dispensaries there that are 24 hours a day. Not every
smart.
city.
Smart.
Not every city has that, but if there's going to be one city that's going to have it,
They never close.
it's got to be Vegas, baby. Vegas.
You go inside.
Vegas, baby.
There's no windows, so you have no idea of what time it is. Just
Yeah.
stay where you're at.
It's just you and the smoke.
I'm going to guess Tommy because he was talking about the fact that if they ran into a situation with capacity, they've in the past done tents outside and kind of made it just
yeah.
a big, huge.
Yeah. But we'll have plenty of space
Yeah,
inside.
we'll be good.
I mean, if it's like 300 people, man, come on. I mean, we'll
Hey,
be
man,
fine.
you become pretty popular.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't think I'm that popular. We'll be fine. I think we'll be having a good time out there at Tommy Rockers. I promise you that. And I got to tell you, if you're a Dolphins fan and you're gonna miss that weekend, shame on you. I mean, listen, if you can't afford it, hey, I completely understand. That's the only excuse. But if you have the money and you're not going to what could be the watershed moment that you want to be a part of as a Dolphin fan with all of the Dolphin other fans that are going to be coming from around the world to go to Vegas for that draft. I mean, this is probably the most exciting moment in recent Dolphin history because this is the moment that could be catapulting. I got to phrase it as could be catapulting, right? Because that's the way you really got to phrase it. I go balls out on everything in life, okay? That is the moment that's going to catapult the Dolphins back into being a good franchise, okay? Guaranteed. I have a lot of faith in what's going on now with Chris Grier and company. I think we're headed for finally bigger and better days. But I get it, the way you got to look at it. Hey, you can get excited. I am so jacked. I've been so jacked about this from the offseason. I haven't changed a damn bit from all of this. Okay? When a lot of you are watching or listening or whatever, and you're like terrified of this season, I had a big old smile on my face about this season. And look how good it turned out when it all said and done, because you saw a coach get the max out of, that guy strained every single drop out of that team and went 5-4 in the end. And you got to feel now like you got yourself a coach. You got a front office now. You got a plethora of picks. You've got all this stuff. It's people that keep hanging on the negative, which is the part that I don't understand, by the way. Well, because Minka's not here. Well, don't worry about it, dude. Without Minka, you went 5-4. Without Laramie Tunsil, you went 5-4. Without all those other guys you cut, you went 5-4 in your last 9 games. You improved. You improved the culture of the team. You improved the overall feeling of the team. So if you have people that didn't want to be here, then get rid of them. You're a Dolphins fan, right? I'm a Dolphins fan. We've been Dolphins fans through 1-15, through 5, or, whatever it is, 5-11 now, or Adam Gase or Cam Cameron or whatever it is, field goal Sperano, Saban, whatever you want. We're here, right? So that's the people we want. We want fans that want to be like us. That, hey, man, things are bad. We can bitch and complain, but we're not getting off the bandwagon. Because I always love the people, don't come back on the bandwagon. Well, bandwagon, dude. I've been a fan since I was born. There's no bandwagon here. I've been on forever. It's
you were
nothing.
Born aqua and orange.
All right, we can bitch, we can complain, but we're not going anywhere. We can bitch and complain, and we're still buying the shirts and the hats and the tickets, and we're still watching, and we're talking every day about it, and we're covering it.
Watching every minute.
Yeah, man. No matter how bad it is, I'm the loser that watches all the preseason games, even the 4th one, bro. I'm that loser. I'm the loser that watches all 7 rounds of the draft, no matter how bad or how good they're ever going to be. It doesn't matter to me. So that's what you want. We want the coaches that want to be here. We want the players that want to be here. We want the fans that want to be Dolphin fans, and that's it. It's people that are just worried about, that Minka's not here, that they traded Tunsil away, and that this and that. Oh, give me a break. And I love the people that are worried about the past. I'm not worried about the past. Why? Because I'm watching what this guy's doing, and he's doing nothing like the idiots from the past. So why am I going to worry about what the Dolphins did in the past? I love the Dolphin that comes to me and says, they'll screw it up. Why will they screw it up, dude? Why? Because other people screwed up? This isn't the group that was screwing up. And so far, they've done a lot of good things here in the process. So far, it looks like your general manager, by the way, that cleared out the cap space in a year and brought you a whole bunch of picks, he might have, on his first big decision, which is hire a coach, he might have hit out of the park. Because Flores did a hell of a job in his first year. Right now, we all have to say that Chris Grier did an awesome job of hiring Brian Flores. Now, it may not turn out that way next year. Maybe Brian Flores was an aberration, but at least for 1 year, at the moment, it looks like he made the right decision. So why am I going to that? Why can't I build on the positive? Why is it some of our Dolphins have to just, I get what the writers do it because they do it because it stirs it up and it gets in your craw and it gets emotion out of you and it gets you to tweet it out and complain and then you turn it on to somebody else, which then turns them off on it and all that because it stirs an emotion. So I get why other people are doing it. I don't get why some Dolph fans want to do this. I'm just like, I will harp on the negative if it's somebody that's in place constantly doing negative things, i.e. Mike Tannenbaum. Then you're going to hear me constantly ripping him and mentioning all the mistakes that I believe they're making. But I don't believe it was a mistake clearing out the cap. And I don't believe it was a mistake trading away Tunsil because that deal was you couldn't turn it down. I don't believe it was a mistake to get rid of Minkah Fitzpatrick. It sucks. I don't want to get rid of him. But if the dude wants to be an a-hole and doesn't want to be here, well, then I'm sorry, man. I'm not fighting. Look, man, if you want to marry a woman that doesn't want to be with you because whatever, she's super fine and you're just going to tolerate everything about her, well, then that's your problem. Okay? Because I have no interest being with anybody that doesn't want to be with me. And if you just want, and if you're willing to be with somebody because you have money and that's the only reason they're with you, well, then so be it, man. Knock yourself out, dude. Minkah didn't want to be here. Move on, man. Move on. And that's what I would say to Dolph fans out there. Some of you out there, move on already. Let it go.
We got a draft pick for Tannehill.
Yeah,
How did he do that?
Yeah, everything. Draft picks for everything. Even for Robert Quinn, they got a draft pick. They got a draft pick for everything.
On top of Tunsil, they take $8 million of Kinney.
They got like 25, 26 picks over the next 2 years.
Yeah.
This is where you turn your team around. So it's now up to them to hit on picks. All right? That's all. But why am I going to sit here? You harp on negative, I'll harp on positive, and I'll say maybe they'll find another Preston Williams. And maybe they'll get find another Nick Needham that'll be a nice little backup for you to add depth. Because Lord knows, not only did the Dolphins not have good enough starters over the years, they had no depth either. So they're trying to solve all issues, trying to find a quarterback, trying to get quality starters and quality depth. You got to fill all of that. And I saw them find some starters, find some backups, and find a ton of picks and clear out all the cap space. You keep harping if you want and worry about what Cam Cameron did or what Mike Tannenbaum did or what Adam Gase's decision was or whatever decision in the past that Stephen Ross made. Man, you want to harp on all that stuff, knock yourself out.
And with the cleanup, went
Knock
5-4.
Yeah.
5-4 to finish the season.
That is equivalent to the Heat going to the playoffs in 08 and 09, clearing out cap space for 10 so they can sign the big three. It's equivalent to that, to go 5-4 with no talent. You know, the Heat had a superstar in Dwayne Wade. Of course you're supposed to at least make the playoffs. Right? This guy went 5-4 in his last 9 games with no talent. Now you're going to give him 25 draft picks and cap space over the next 2 years? You go ahead. Any of your Dolphin buddies out there want to keep harping on the negative, let them do that, man. Let them sit in sorrow. Let them wallow in their beer. It's like one day we're at an Iron Maiden concert. I want to say it was Power Slave. You were with me in Power Slave, right?
Yes, I
Power
think
Slave,
I was.
right?
Yes.
You remember the dude that when we were standing on the chairs, and then when we got off, there was a dude behind us, and he had a giant cup, and all he was doing was just throwing up in the cup while we were walking away.
Yeah.
You remember that guy, right?
Yep.
He was so wasted, he's just throwing up in a cup. That's you.
His cup runneth over.
That's you. Just throwing up and just worried about what everybody else did in the past. Man, it's a clean slate. Give yourself some freedom. You know what I mean? In fact, why don't you just get
Stop
on
wallowing in misery, man.
get in a plane right now and fly to Nevada, wait for us there to the draft, and just keep smoking. That way maybe you'll mellow out or something. I don't know.
Like you pointed out, 24 hours.
Hey, listen, man. Nobody's ripped the Dolphins more than I have the last 20 years. Nobody. Okay? Nobody. Nobody has ripped the Dolphins to their face like I have in the last 20 years. Whether it was a coach or whatever, I asked them all those kind of tough questions. General manager, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's not that I say it on radio and then I won't say it in their face. Okay? Because that's what I had. I had one Dolphin executive come to me and say, I'll give you credit for this, I don't agree with you all the time, and I know I work for the team. But whatever you would say about Tannenbaum on the air, I saw you say it to his face. And for that, I commend you because I see and hear and read too many guys that will say one thing and then they're kissing their butts in the other. And I go, yeah, that's not my style. You know? So nobody's ripped them more than I have. But I've ripped them because they deserve to get ripped. Right now, they don't deserve to get ripped, man. They just don't. They deserve to be given a break right now. Sit back, let them watch it. But I don't think, look, if you don't take a wait and see approach is what you're better off. If you don't want to be positive like me, that's fine. But there's no reason to be negative either. Because everything is bouncing back now. Everything is headed in a positive direction. Why bring it down? That's the part I don't understand.
They need to be commended for what they've been able to accomplish.
Big time. Big time. Big O, I saw a post on Facebook asking who will be the face of the franchise, the Miami Dolphins. I replied, Brian Flores. What says you, Big O and Bill? Yes, Brian Flores is the face of the franchise until you get a quarterback. Yes.
But he's going to be that backbone.
Right.
The culture, the way he's established. You make a mistake, go touch the wall.
Shula.
Yeah, right.
Shula.
That it all comes from there.
Right. Shula. Shula was the face. I'm not saying Flores.
Can't forget Chris Greer.
By the way,
though.
I'm not.
Chris Greer.
Yeah, but
is
I'm not
the brain.
Yeah, but he won't be a face because he's not a.
No, but he's the brain.
Yeah, but the problem is that he's not a media whore. He's not the guy that's going to want to be in front of the camera all the time.
What have we seen him twice in the last 4 or 5 months, right?
He's going to stay behind the scenes. He's going to let Flores do his thing, which is what you're supposed to do, by the way. You should let your head coach, and you just talk about personnel issues, and then you come out a couple times a year and you talk about your personnel issues, and then you go, run and hide and stay in your cave and watch
over the
film
course of the year. What was it, Minka, and the end of the season? That's it, right?
Yeah.
And then we got to see him at the Senior Bowl. Right. That's it.
And we'll also talk to him at the Combine.
Oh, he will make another.
Yes.
Okay.
We will be talking to him at the Combine. So that's why, for me, just let it go, man. Just let it go. It's not worth it.
Maybe these are Debbie Downer people, man.
It's just you've been beaten down for 20
years.
You would think,
yeah.
And then you just been beaten down. You expect that you
this
expect
is the person
it to continue.
Here.
It's kind of like the blind ass fan. It's the opposite of the blind ass fan. The blind ass fan doesn't see logic. The blind ass fan thinks their team is fantastic all the time, no matter what. And I would deal with those guys and women for the last 20 years, and I would have to kind of straighten them out. And they would hate to hear the reality. You know what I'm saying? So it's those two extremes. It's let me create the negativity that doesn't exist, but I'll create it anyways by using examples of the past that have nothing to do with these people, or the blind ass fan that expects their team to win. The blind ass fan thought they were going to win 9 or 10 games this year. Seriously. That's what they thought. It was going to be like, yeah, no, they got a shot still for the playoffs. And you're like, really, dude? Come on. That kind of stuff.
How about this?
Let it go. Let it go.
Here's the ray of sunshine. This guy wants to go get blackout curtains.
Right. Bill in Hialeah, it's funny as hell, laughing my ass off. I don't know what you're laughing at.
I'm Bill in Hialeah, or from Hialeah.
Okay, but user Tom is saying Bill in Hialeah. Oh, I see. A Bill in Hialeah, I think is what he's saying. that there's a gringo in Hialeah is what I think he's saying.
There's
a couple left. Okay, there's a couple left. Not many, but there's a couple left.
Half a handful.
Yes, probably. Yeah. George says, "Preach, Big O. I couldn't agree with you more about the Finns. Finns fans and a cup." Dougie Fresh says. Oh, I love it. Don't forget that the program is proudly brought to you by Choice Mortgage Bank. Call Michael Codsey and those great people at Choice Mortgage Bank. State rates under 3.5% right now. Call them, and it's easy. This is the owner's personal cell number. Don't let those other mortgage companies give you the runaround. Nobody's going to work harder for you. You're going to be so impressed. Great people, too. Local guy, loves all the local teams. Great family man. 561-441-2730. Call Michael Codsey right now. 561-441-2730.
This is the Big O Show.
Plus tax tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Codsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Codsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Yes, it is. Live from beautiful Toyota of Hollywood. Steve Ostrov, Herbie Lopez, Eddie, all the great people out here, man. They are always ready to help us out here and help you. So come on out and get a great deal out here at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7, man, in Hollywood. And if you want to get in on the program on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, I was just talking to Bobby yesterday. Bobby, I hope you feel better, my brother. He's had a little bit of a cold that's been sticking with him for a couple of weeks now. So hopefully you get better, my man. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. And if you happen to be watching on our YouTube channel there, you can also chime in. There's a chat board there. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. Andy Raphael says, Big O, this is you all day. YouTube, baby. I follow you hard on Twitter. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that, my friend, very much. Very kind. Spread the word, folks. Tell everybody about the show. We are soon going to take another step on the program. You'll have a live link soon on our website at Big O Radio Show. You can go to our website, BigORadioshow.com, and you can listen to all of our podcasts there, segments, interviews, rants, all that stuff there. You can subscribe to anything that we have there. But we're also going to add very soon a listen live button. So we'll have, it's kind of like an app almost. So you'll be able to just hit it and minimize it and all that stuff. Because if you don't have YouTube Premium, then because if you have YouTube Premium, you can like turn us on and then minimize it and still listen. But you know how it is. If you're watching YouTube and you minimize it, it cuts it off and it's done. So you have to keep the video up in order to listen to us. So we want to give you the option of having to be able to listen to the audio wherever you are, gym, whatever, without having to have video on. So there you go. And for those of you that didn't know that, if you have YouTube Premium, you can actually do that and still listen. With YouTube Premium, you can minimize it. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up while you're watching the broadcast, okay? Every day that you watch the broadcast, give us that thumbs up.
Before I forget, I wanted to let you know this trendsetter thing that you got going on. A surprise. Bro, I had never seen the color of your car until you got it. I want you to know, man, I've seen 4 of them in the last month.
Oh, yeah.
Like, your color was totally unique. I don't know how, I don't know what, but ever since you got yours, man, I've seen 4 of them.
It's good.
Okay.
It's a really nice color.
No, it's awesome. I'm just
really nice color. I'm not surprised.
Doing a little trend setting there, buddy, in case you didn't know.
I don't know about trend setting, but, hey, we'll take it.
That or copycatters. You go either way with it.
On the accidentlawfirm.com text line says, before Belichick, the Pats were a joke of an organization. They had a couple Super Bowl losses, but sucked besides it. Every team can turn it around with the ring. Hit front office and hires. I'm psyched with what the Finns are doing. Enjoy it, Finns fans. Exactly. That's the right attitude. I'm not into, like, worried about the past. Hell, I'm the guy that forgets about the past just an hour ago. You know, I could be pissed off about something, then I just got to let it go and move on, bro. You know what I mean? It's you just can't dwell on the negativity all the time, man. If it's in the past, leave it there. That's kind of where it belongs. So that would be the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Brian Edwards from BrianEdwardsSports.com and MajorWager.com and the Games Galore podcast is going to join us on the other side. We're going to talk a little Super Bowl. We'll talk some Super Bowl props. We'll ask him about any specific or special bet he may have going on, something along those lines. You know, who knows? We're out here, by the way, at Toyota of Hollywood, where, of course, you can get great deals out here at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Come on out here. We'll be out here till 3 o'clock. Bill will be out here closer to 4 because obviously he's setting everything up. I'm darting out the door at 3. But if you are somewhere in the area over the next 3 hours by the Hollywood area, come on by, man. I would love to meet you, say hi, all that good stuff. We can take a pic or whatever, all that. So we'll be out here till 3 o'clock. Or come on out and get a great deal. I see Steve Ostrov right there on the showroom floor making sure that everything is running good. You got to see these Supras that are here. Plus, Craig Zinn has 2 of his own Supras in here, like classic Supras. One of them is worth $300,000. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. You got to check it out. So it's like you get, some special cars in the showrooms. All right, let's take a quick break.
Oh.
When we come back.
I got Brian Edwards ready.
All right, well, let's do it.
Let's keep it rolling, brother.
All right, let's keep it rolling. We can do that. We can keep it rolling. Brian Edwards from BrianEdwardsSports.com, MajorWager.com, the Games Galore podcast also kind enough to join us now. Brian, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, Big O. Thanks for having me again.
It is great to have you on again, my brother. Talk a little wager, since this is that game that we want to wager. We want to wager on all kinds of things. So let me ask you, just to start off with a fun prop, before I ask you about your favorite props, are you the guy that bets on the national anthem? Because last year I won when I went with the over. I said Gladys Knight in Atlanta, she's got to go over. She did. She won me some money right from the get-go. So are you into the Demi Lovato over and under for the national anthem outside of the sporting world?
Big O, man, I hate to be boring, but, man, I am really not into the anthem or the heads or tails or the Gatorade color. I like to stick to the ones that I feel like I got a good handle on. So I hate to be boring, but no, I don't have an opinion there.
No, and look, I completely understand that, Brian, because a lot of guys are like, hey, man, I'm here to bet on the game itself, what things involved with the game, not the coin toss, not all the other stuff that is kind of, on the periphery of the game. What color blouse she's going to wear or dress or something. Yeah, I get you. But, hey, national anthem, man, I don't know. I'm leaning with over only because she's coming back from rehab, and I think she's going to want to show people that she's back and she's stronger than ever, that kind of stuff. So, at least, Brian, what do you think about my reasoning of going with the over on Demi Lovato?
Well, I know that my colleague at MajorWager.com, right when the props came out on Demi Lovato, he broke it down. Like, she sang, I think it was before the World Series. She had sang at maybe even the NBA Finals. She's sang at quite a few events. And my buddy Blake Von Hagen at MajorWager.com, he broke it down. He had all the stats on how long she took for like each time she has sung at the big event. So I would just encourage, I don't have all that info privy, but just go to MajorWager.com and look for the Demi Lovato props on the right rail. And my buddy Blake, he broke it down. He had all the info on that.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. How about that? Brian gives you even at least the insight on where to get that bet right there, which I need big time. All right. Good stuff, Brian. All right. Let's talk about the game right now. Overall, where the line is in the over and under, where you're at right now with that.
Okay, so right now the Chiefs are 1 or 1.5 at most books, and the total has come down to 54.5. Now it opened, 52.5, 53 that first Sunday night after the championship game, but it had drifted up to 55, 55.5. It's come down a solid point here in the last, 48 to 72 hours. Big O, my strategy with every Super Bowl is I like to have a big bet. I call it my sink or swim bet, where whatever your bankroll is, say it's $100, $1,000, or $10,000, whatever it is, I like to put about 70 to 80% of whatever I'm willing to risk on my one big bet. Now that's going to be the over this week, and the reason I do it like that is I like to have fun with my props. I mean, like you're talking about, the Demi Lovato, and I think props should be fun, but I don't think they should be a huge factor on whether you're a winner or a loser for the day. And the way I do it, I can go 0 for 5 on props, and I'm not going to sweat it. As long as I win my big bet, I'm going to win for the day. And I'm torn on the side, Big O, man. It's just, defense, you go Niners, offense, you go Chiefs, but, which one is going to rule the day. But in terms of the over's hitting 3 straight for Kansas City, and it's had a lot of totals in the 50s, and the over went 5-3 in its 8 games with totals in the 50s, and the 2 postseason combined scores for the Chiefs. And let's also point out that was in cold weather at Arrowhead. The combined scores were 82 and 59. So, we've seen them have some high-scoring games recently, and in the playoffs, Mahomes has 8 touchdown passes without an interception. So I'm liking the over, and I know San Fran's got a great D, but Kansas City has a bad D. And I think San Francisco, whether they're running it like they've done the first 2 games of the playoffs, which was mainly because they had a big lead, but whether they run it or throw it, they're going to be able to do it effectively against KC, and I think the overs will play.
All right, so you're expecting the pass game to become a big factor here then?
Yeah, and certainly with Mahomes, and whether it's I think Kansas City's defense stinks. Whether it's running it on them or throwing it on them, I think San Fran can do both effectively, and I think we're going to have a high-scoring game on both teams.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Brian Edwards from BrianEdwardsSports.com, MajorWager.com, and of course the Games Galore podcast. Make sure you follow him there. All right, Brian. So we're looking at the over and under and the total here. Let's get into a little props now. Well, give me some props that you like going into this game.
So, like I was saying, I like to do small amounts. So I like to do the ones that have big payouts. So 2 of those are the odds to win MVP and the odds to score the very first touchdown of the game, which I've hit 3 times. I hit it with Devin Hester at 25-1, Bears Colts. I hit it with Brandon LaFell 18-1. It was either Patriots Seahawks or Patriots Giants. And I hit it Anquan Bolden 12-1. San Fran Baltimore out in New Orleans. This year I'm going to go with Deebo Samuel at 12-1, the San Francisco wide receiver. He can, catch the deep ball, but they like to run reverses to him, or they'll run a little sprint sweep to him. He had 3 rushing touchdowns during the regular season, so he could score in a couple different ways. That's my pick, but now if you're looking for another one, if you don't like mine, I think Sammy Watkins at 18-1 will have a pretty good chance to score as well. I would, consider him their, second best receiver, but third favorite target for Mahomes with Kelsey at tight end. And then for MVP, I like the chances of Bosa at 25-1. If he can have 2 or 3 sacks and maybe one of them's a forced fumble and maybe somebody get a scoop and score and that be at a critical point in the game, I think Bosa, we've seen defensive players get it before. Dexter Jackson in 03 is one example, but there's been many others. The Dallas quarterback that had the pick 6 against Neil O'Donnell in 95, we've seen them happen before. So I'll go Bosa 25-1 for MVP and Deebo 12-1 on the first touchdown.
All right. I like that. Brian Edwards from BrianEdwardsSports.com, MajorWager.com. What kind of a player do you think the running game is going to be in this one? Because Kansas City did a nice job of shutting down Derrick Henry. Are they going to shut down Mostert and company?
Chris Jones, their best defensive lineman out of Mississippi State, he didn't play against the Texans, and he did come back and play against Henry, and that was a factor. And their defense is much more stout against the run when Chris Jones, is healthy and in uniform, and he will be. So that's a good thing. But I think Kansas City will do most of their damage through the air. And I think San Fran will be nice and balanced. Now, if they have a big lead like they did against Minnesota, we'll see them, concentrate heavy on the run. But I don't see this game getting out of hand as the spread suggests. I think we're going to have a nip and tuck, close game. And since I'm not real bullish on the side, I would love to see like the Texans and Titans did. I would love San Fran to open up a big lead early and then maybe get Kansas City an in-game opportunity, maybe like a +6 or a +7 if they fall down double digits like they did in both of those first two playoff games.
Brian, where are you on the money line?
The money line, if I have to pick a side, Big O, I slightly lean to KC. But again, the over is going to be my big bet. Now, I may throw KC in the over in a parlay or a reverse, and that's my slight lean. But I greatly prefer the over, and probably just going to be looking for some in-game or maybe even halftime opportunity to get a good number on either team if one of them falls down pretty big, because I think both of them would be able to rally, and I think we'll end up having a close game even in the fourth quarter.
So where are you expecting Garoppolo's totals to be?
Well, so his passing yards, the over/under is 240 and 1/2. And I did a little research on this. In the 16 regular season games, he threw for more than 241 or more 10 times. 6 times he didn't, and then obviously in these 2 playoff games he went way under because he only tried to throw like 10 passes each game. So even though he went over more often than not in the regular season, I would lean under 240.5 on him. Now, as for Mahomes, depends on what book you're at. His rushing yards over under is in that like 29 to 31 yard range. And he had 53 yards rushing in each playoff game against the Titans and the Texans. And I think with the way San Francisco gets after the quarterback and with one of the best pass rushes in the league, if not the best, I think Mahomes, whether he likes it or not, is going to be forced to run. So I like the over on his rushing yards. Again, it should be somewhere in the 29 to 32 yard range, depending on what book you're at. And I will lean under on Garoppolo's 240.5 passing yards.
Brian, tell them a little bit about BrianEdwardsSports.com and MajorWager.com and the Games Galore podcast.
Yeah, Big O. Thanks again a bunch for having me, man. Your listeners can follow me on Twitter at VegasBEdwards. I just wrote an article about the Dayton Flyers and men's basketball on MajorWager.com. I think they're worth a good future bet at 30 to 1 odds to win it all. And I'll also have a lot more NFL content going up at BrianEdwardsSports.com and MajorWager.com.
There you go. And, of course, he is Brian Edwards. Brian, as always, my brother, thank you for taking some time. Look forward to doing it again.
Thanks, my man. Enjoy Super Sunday. Hope you win all your bets.
Thank you, sir. Always. Appreciate it. There you go, Brian Edwards, man. Good stuff there. That's all we need on Sunday is a good game, and we need to win our bets. So he likes his big bet is the over. All right. We've been talking about the under.
That means no defense and running game.
Yeah.
Wide
no,
open.
Or passing.
Yeah, passing. That's it.
Expecting a lot of passing then.
For the score to get up there.
Yeah.
What is that line, man? Was it 55?
What was that?
That over-under. It's 50-something, right?
Yes, it's 54.5 right now is where it's
moved
at.
a half a point?
Yeah.
You know what? It's not. Think about it, man. That's 27 points a team. That's not so much to ask from these offenses.
Right.
Because they've been in the 30 area pretty much on a regular basis.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now it's Kansas City -1, and the over and under is 54.5. I like Kansas City in this game, and I still right now I'm still leaning. I know he likes the over. I kind of like the under. You
know what I think the play is, man? Take a 2-team tease and swing it. And they talk about passing the zero of this, but Kansas City with 5, and take the over/under down to 48.5. How about that?
Okay.
As a 2-team tease.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad.
I like that. Kansas City +5, 48.5 on the over.
That might be very, very interesting. I kind of like that.
You like the way I think, man?
Yes. I like that. That one makes a little bit of sense there. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. Reach out to us also on our YouTube chat board, which we've always got that going on the YouTube chat board. And you can send in any of your questions and comments there. We are out here at Toyota of Hollywood, so come on out here and join us here at Toyota of Hollywood. We always have some fun. We'll be out here till 3 o'clock. I got to get into a little bit of Richard Sherman and the 17-game schedule. He commented on this yesterday, and here's where I'm gonna definitely agree with him. Bill, can you pull up the comments? Can you pull up the comments from Richard Sherman there? So Sherman was asked about the 17-game schedule, and there's some talk going on now, and obviously they got to get into the CBA talks between the owners, and the players union, and Richard was asked about this 17-game schedule, and it's hard to really argue with his point. Go ahead.
I don't think it's something that players are interested in, honestly, and if that's the point they're negotiating on, I think these negotiations are going to go a lot longer than anticipated, because it's odd to me, and it's always odd when you hear player safety is their biggest concern, and they're really standing up for player safety, but it seems like player safety has a price tag. Player safety up to the point of, hey, 17 games makes us this much money, so we really don't care how safe they are if you're going to pay us this much money to play another game.
Now, look, when it comes to the 17 games, he's right. Do I believe they're really into player safety? No, man, they just got exposed. That's all, and so now they've got to put up that cloth of protection and show people that, no, we really care and we're really trying to protect the players and all of that. They've got to put up that front.
Avoid potential lawsuits.
I mean, players are still hiding their injuries. We just had a guy that who was in the news recently about some kind of an injury that wasn't on the injured list at all, and he just had surgery for it and all of that. And it's crazy. I forgot who it was, but I'm brain farting right now at the moment with that. But I remember that was going on recently, that somebody was in the news because they had an injury and then they had surgery, and it was like, well, wait a minute, he wasn't even on the injured report for that. So players are going to hide these injuries. Some of them are going to be smart enough, and they're going to talk and say, hey, I'm concussed. But owners, I mean, come on, man. They just care about the bottom line. They're not worried about these guys. And Richard knows it. But that is going to be a fight that's going to happen from within for the players' union. Because there are going to be players that aren't going to care about this. They just care about the bottom line, which is the money. And the owners aren't stupid, because by adding a 17th game, they'll find a way of using that to generate more revenue for the league, charge more to these TV companies because you're paying for one more game, right? All of these things, they will end up making that money in the long run. So that's probably why they'll be willing to give up a little bit more of the pie, because there'll be a bigger pie in the end. So they won't be losing that much money, or if any at all. These owners aren't stupid, man.
I liked your idea you had back a couple months ago. Reducing down the preseason games, kicking another
just
game.
One preseason game.
Yeah, just one?
Just one.
I thought you were like, let's do two.
No, what? No,
a regular season, but give 2 bye weeks.
Right, you have 2 bye weeks. You have only one preseason game, because that's your fine-tuning preseason game. That's your
the other
number
thing.
3. It's what you do is you have practices against other teams during training camp.
Inter-squad. Yeah.
You go to Tampa for a couple of days and practice with Tampa for a couple of days. Instead of a preseason game, you'll get more out of that than you will out of a preseason game. You do that twice in a preseason. Like, let's say you go for a week with Tampa, or 4 days, let's say Tampa, 4 days with the Falcons during your 1 month training camp. You have 2 of those trips. At the end of your 1 month training camp, you have 1 preseason game, which is the one that you go for 3 quarters, okay? And you practice, and then that's your fine-tuned game that a week later you start the NFL season.
The other idea that you had bye weeks pertaining to the Thursday night,
yeah,
and possible
you have 2
Europe,
bye weeks, and
the
one of
Europes.
them is tied to your Thursday games or to Europe. Whatever.
Yeah, that's smart, man.
Whatever. Europe, Mexico, wherever you're going to play an out-of-country game.
You know what? I don't think Mexico.
I know,
it's not that.
but
you're still within the realm
Yeah.
of North America.
Yeah, no, I get it. But whatever.
But I definitely like your
But
idea of the
altitude
Thursday.
and all that, you're dealing with Mexico and all
2
that.
miles, yeah.
So whatever, just give them a break for that. But if you're going to do those kind of things and you're going to send somebody to Europe, then they have a whole week off after.
Yeah, Thursday, especially with the shortened week, man. That's where the injuries.
Yes.
Your body being broken down, and
Yes.
here, I'm going to throw you into another major horrific car crash.
Right.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Right. So that's what I would do with that. But I just don't think this fight is, and the problem is that the owners always end up schooling the players with all of this. But Richard Sherman is right in every way, shape, and form about all of this. He's on target. 17-game schedule, they're not really going to benefit a whole lot from this. But they're also going to end up fighting their own players because a lot of them are going to be short-sighted about it.
Players be smart to listen, man. He is probably one of the smartest guys in the league.
Yes, but the problem with all of that is that he can think big picture because he's been in it. But they have way too many people in the NFL that aren't big picture thinkers. And that's why I think this whole 17-game thing is going to be one hell of a mission for them to accomplish it and for the players to agree, because what they're going to want in return is going to be maybe too much for the owners to give up. And then that's where you're going to have a problem and you're going to have holdouts. And let me give you another angle to this story, okay? DeMaurice Smith came out and said that he told the players to be prepared. Excuse me, man. I've yawned several times already. Yeah, I'm a little tired. I did not.
You need a 5-hour energy there, buddy.
I did not sleep the way I wanted to last night, obviously. But DeMarcus told the players that to be ready for a 2-year holdout. Yeah. So DeMaurice Smith, the NFLPA president, talked about it. Now, I don't know if this is reality. This is more about posturing than anything else going on between, DeMaurice Smith and the owners. But this is what he said. He says, "I'm here with a group of people who are willing to take a labor action," Smith said, indicating the chanting, disgruntled state workers in a plaza behind him. And people need to understand that this is really easy to call for a work stoppage. It's really hard to win one. So that's why I started notifying players 4 years ago about saving their checks, making changes to their debt structure. And the reality is that if we want to hold out and get everything we want, that's probably going to mean a 2-year strike. Now, here's the problem with all of this, and I know the owners behind the scenes are thinking this because I can think this, and they're way smarter than I am. A lot of people are way smarter than I am. But anyway, a player's life expectancy in the NFL is 3.5 to 4 years. So you're asking a lot of the players, not Richard Sherman, but a lot of the guys that are in his locker room aren't going to be in this league more than 2, 3, 4 years. And they're out. Most of the players. It's a small percentage of the players that are lasting 7, 8, 10, 12 years, and they can have a big picture approach to it. Overall, you're filtering in and out a lot of guys in 4 years. So can you ask somebody that is going to be, and he knows it, that he's only going to be around maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years to hold out for those 2 years? And if you're only going to be around for 4, you're going to hold out for half of your career earnings? Oh, and by the way, if you're a 3, 4, 5-year guy and you hold out for 2, are you still going to be in the kind of shape that they're going to accept you after that? Because you haven't been playing real football. So how is that supposed to work out? And if you're under contract and you're holding out, can you go play in the CFL or XFL? You know what I'm saying? This is really easy to say, and I think the owners are thinking the same thing after DeMaurice Smith said that. They're probably laughing like, right, yeah, those guys are going to hold out for 2 years when we know the stats are 60% of all locker rooms don't last for more than 4 years. Their life expectancy is 3 or 4. So DeMaurice is going to ask a large percentage of his constituents to hold out for half of their career earnings. Come on, man. That's not realistic. And a lot of these guys, this is why they get their asses kicked in negotiations. Because you've got Tom Brady thinking big picture. You've got Richard Sherman thinking big picture. Problem is, there's a lot of players in each of their locker rooms that can't think like that because they're only going to be around for another year or 2 or 3 or 4. And then they're out. So those guys are just thinking, hell no, dude. I got to get mine now. This is all I'm going to get. I'm going to get it right now. Because a lot of those guys will never make this kind of money again. Let me rephrase that. 99.9% of those guys will never make this kind of money again. They don't have a skill set outside of football, most of them, to make this kind of money later on. Sure, there'll be a couple guys that can, move on and be really successful, make big time money. But most of these guys, they're hoping they can retire on the money, and if they don't, man, it gets ugly for them. Big time. That's where, to me, you're going to hold out for 2 years, really? I've watched them go get scabs and then go back into those stadiums, and there's thousands of people going to those games. And eventually you'll get people, if you have a 2-year thing, you know how many guys are going to cross over? Crazy. Oh, and one more thing. You hold out for 2 years, they may decertify your whole league and just start with new players. And trust me, these millennials and Generation Zs, they're not loyal, dude. They don't care about your cause. They'll go in there because they'll make whatever money they can make.
The owners have the advantage because the union, to be a strong union, has to be unified, all of them. The fact that there's all these different factions that have their own agendas, you're undermining your union. You have to be together, 100 guys. You can't have 40 of these and 40 of those and 20 of these. They go in and the owners know we got them by the long hairs because they're not together.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's dissension within the faction. So you got them.
It just, to me, it's so unrealistic. And it is just...
Can you blame a guy, though, knowing you got 4 years, you want me to give up 2 of my big earning 4 years?
You know what I mean? I can't blame them. But if you ever wanted to get better, at one point or another, you're going to have to make that sacrifice.
But you want me to bite the bullet for the guy behind me?
Right.
Man, I got to take care of my family.
Yeah, but that's what Kurt, that's what Kurt Flood did.
Look, there are a few people, But like you
No,
said,
but
the
it starts
millennials
somewhere.
It has to. Yes,
It has to start
You're
somewhere.
correct.
If you're going to make it better for somebody else, you're going to have to make a sacrifice.
But you know these
and
people.
the NFL players. I mean, it's gotten better for them, but it's not like it is in basketball and baseball and hockey. I mean, I know hockey doesn't have the same amount of money, but their contracts are guaranteed.
Yes,
that's the difference. So at least they have guaranteed deals, and where the football players, they don't.
We just started to see it. The first one was Kirk Cousins. Was
Yeah.
the first guaranteed 100.
Right, and that's going to end quickly. That's
The
gonna
owners.
end.
Oh yeah, the owners.
That's
no,
going to
no.
end quickly because the owners aren't going to put themselves because look what happened with Kirk Cousins.
Look
he's
what
not
Alex-
he's not
you know
worth
what?
$90
Right
million, and
behind
now
it,
you
Alex
burned
Smith.
And two of the guys that signed those guaranteed deals burned their teams, or shall I say, those teams burned themselves for committing to deals like that. So
they were not very smart.
Yep. Big O, you need a Bang energy drink. Yes, I do. I probably do need a little energy today. Elder Bruce Jones says, "What up, Big O?" Thank you, sir. Thank you for chiming in on the YouTube chat board. Appreciate all of you out there. All right, it's 12:30. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. I do want to tell you about Pallet Rack City. Straighten out that warehouse. Let's make it look nice. You know what looks great? A great rack. I mean, don't you love a great rack? I know I love a great rack. It's fantastic to have great racks, right? So, I mean, you go home, you see a great rack, it's awesome, right? That's because you're organized. So if you want to organize that warehouse, whether it's racks, forklifts, you name it, they've got anything and everything you need. All your warehouse needs, Pallet Rack City. Call Eddie Pereira, 305-887-9212. That's 305-887-9212. They sell pallet jacks, hand trucks, dock boards, most packaging supplies. They're your one-stop shop for all of your warehouse needs. Call Eddie Pereira right now and tell him that Big O sent you. Straighten out that warehouse. Make it look hot. Get it straightened out with some great racks at Pallet Rack City.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Metallica, headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. Go to welcometorocktillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big...
All righty, welcome back. Bill's not back, so I was able to just, I think I did it right. Can you guys hear me? I think you can, right? Anyway, so I figured, keep waiting for Bill to come back so we could get back on again. So figured I'd lower it myself and get it going. Give me the thumbs up if you guys are hearing. I think I did the right thing. I'm not the engineer, but I tried to do it, and hopefully you guys are hearing me. If not, I'm just talking to myself right here in the middle of a dealership, but then again, I'm probably used to talking to myself anyway. So just give me the heads up there on the YouTube chat board if you guys can hear me. And, of course, you can always chime in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, which is 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program as we take you, of course, till about 3 o'clock here on the show. And we got lots of things. Remember, tomorrow we're going to be at Craig's Inn Acura from 9 to 11. So if you happen to be in the Pembroke Pines area, come on by. And then from 1 to 4 on Fridays, we're always at Hialeah Park. So good stuff there as always. Jay says loud and clear, so we're good. I think I did it right there. So we are nice and clear for you guys. So we appreciate that. So we'll be at Hialeah Park 1 to 4 on Friday. So come on out here. And
it's actually like you knew what you were doing there, buddy.
Kind of, huh? And join us out here if you can, as always. And we'll be out here till 3 o'clock at Toyota of Hollywood. And always appreciate those of you that do come by to any of our appearances every single week to say hi and hang out with us, which we always thank you for all of that. I just saw where Aaron Gordon has joined the dunk contest. And remember, Derek Jones Jr. from the Miami Heat is in that dunk contest along with Dwight Howard. So now Aaron Gordon is part of it. I don't know. Has there been anybody else? Is it just those three? There's got to be another one or two, right? Or they just haven't gotten the commitments from other people? What a shame, right? Because, man, we grew up with Jordan and Neek and all these guys and Dr. J, like the best of the best, the elite wanted to do it, right? I mean, that's how lucky we were. Just the MJ Neek dunk contests were something that we talked about, and it was like buzz all over the country every year or for a couple of years when they did it. It was like a heavyweight fight.
Even the three-way, even the three-point man, you had Bird and Craig Elo, and I mean, there was a synergy. They wanted to be in it. We wanted to watch. It was must watch.
I mean, we're watching Dr. J do it, man. It's so cool. Clyde Drexler. You know what I mean? It was
Clyde the Glide, man.
The best of the best did the dunk contest. And now you got to like twist arms and you got to get guys and all that. And look, some of these other guys that are of lesser names, it's not like they don't come up with some good dunks. Some of them do. And I know the dunk contest is kind of worn out already at this point. But it's interesting how the attitude about it has changed over the years.
You know what?
And that the superstars want nothing to do with it whatsoever. Those of us that grew up in that era, man, we are lucky. We're lucky to have witnessed 80s basketball. We're lucky to have seen the dunk contest when it actually meant something. You know, that it meant something to the great players in the league to be a part of it.
It's almost kind of like the All-Star games, some of the sports All-Star games.
Yeah.
The Olympics for a while, it wasn't the thing to do. You know, I've been there, done that. I don't need to go.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It kind of like it's worn out its welcome, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just they look at it and they say, well, it's not to my advantage, so I'm not doing it. Basically is what they're saying.
There is one thing about those competitions in the basket, like the home run derby, okay, during the All-Star game. We've seen guys that get involved in that, and then it affects their home run numbers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There is not that bad side, negative.
Right. No.
You know, from a performance. It isn't like if you go performing, this is going to affect you, like the home run derby has. But I think it's just old, man. Does that make sense?
That or they just, they have gotten to a point where it's just not worth it for them to do this. That's the way they look at it. You know?
Is there a benefit like back in the day? Back in the day, if you won they won the slam dunk contest.
Well, it was.
Now it's like, do you even know? Can you even name 2 of the last 5 years slam dunk?
That's because, again, the guys that are doing it, you don't care about. That's the problem. You know, that's why.
Are you excited about Dwight Howard wanting to do this?
What's he gonna do? Put on another cape again? I mean, come on. I've already seen it. What else?
He's
going
to put on tights this year, actually.
And he has like a back issue, so I'm wondering. He's always had back issues, so at this point, he's going to do a dunk contest. I am excited to see Derrick Jones Jr. just because he's one of ours, and hell, he does it in game. He's a great in-game dunker. So I'm looking forward to watching him do it. You know, in this stage.
That guy has major hops. He could jump right out of the gym.
Yeah. Well, we always like talking a little music and pop culture on this show. And, Bill, I don't know if I know that you have to remember this, but back in the 80s, there was a band that had a little bit of success, had like an MTV-like success, and they were really good, but they were kind of a flash in the pan. They didn't really last that long. And the band was named Vandenberg. Remember that?
Oh, for sure.
Remember Adrian Vandenberg?
Their name was Cutting Edge, the design, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right here, Vandenberg, right? So they on MTV, they had a song called Burning Heart, which was a really cool song, excellent guitar solo, all of that. You can go find it if you want to check it out. It's called Vandenberg, and Burning Heart is the name of the album or the name of the song, right? I got it here. I got it right here. I got the video. I don't want to play too much because then YouTube gets all hot and bothered about playing a little bit of music. But
copyright.
So they came out with 3 albums. I have all 3, and it wasn't their first album was. Boom. So it was a great song, Burning Heart. So Adrian Vandenberg, over the past 3 decades, he had been a core member of Whitesnake, also behind Manic Eden and Vandenberg's Moon Kings, which I have, I believe, all 3 albums of Vandenberg's Moon Kings. Vandenberg has announced today, on the 30th of January, that he has now brought Vandenberg back to life. And he's currently putting the finishing touches on a 4th studio album with esteemed producer Bob Marlette from Alice Cooper and Black Sabbath. The 9-track record sees the light of day in 2020 via Mascot Label Group. It will be Vandenberg's first studio album since Alibi back in 1985. Okay? The album features vocals on all tracks from Chilean singer Ronnie Romero, who was shot to fame in 2016 when Richie Blackmore personally recruited him for Richie Blackmore's Rainbow Reunion shows. Additionally, Rudy Sarzo from Ozzy Osbourne and Whitesnake played bass, and Brian Tichy from Slash, Ozzy, and Foreigner both performed on the album. As a taster for the album of original songs, you can listen to a new version. They've got it here, Burning Heart. Explaining why he revived Vandenberg, Adrian says, going with the band name Vandenberg was a logical decision. Rock fans would know right away what they're dealing with. I felt that I wasn't done with the style of music I wrote for my band Vandenberg at the time and wanted to pick up the thread where I left it off when I joined Whitesnake. But to me, that would only make sense if I'd come up with a brand new testosterone-driven version of Vandenberg with kick-ass, world-class lineup, Vandenberg 2020 on steroids. So that's exactly what we did. Bam, here I go. How about that? So I like it.
They definitely had the guitars, man, the roll.
Yeah.
They did have something going on.
So Ronnie Romero will be a member of Adrian Vandenberg's touring band alongside with drummer Cohen Herfitz and drummer Randy Van Der Elsen. That's going to be the band.
You know what surprised me?
I'll tell you what.
The 3 albums and the last one being 85.
If they come somewhere down here, I want to go see them.
Yeah, I figured.
I want to go see them.
I'm willing to bet on that 3 CD. You have those 3 CDs. I
have all 3. Oh, yes. Yes, definitely.
I'm a betting man. I will bet
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Their second album was good. The third album wasn't that good. Alibi was not that good.
I'm surprised it was 85 their last.
Yeah.
I would figure it'd be closer to the 90 mark. You know,
I'm trying to remember. I saw Vandenberg, but I'm trying to remember who they opened up for. That I don't remember. It was
seen.
Oh, I have seen Vandenberg. For sure I saw Vandenberg. They opened up, but I forgot who it was that they opened up for, and I'm pretty sure it was in the Sporto back in the day.
Wow.
But that is so cool that Adrian has decided to bring Vandenberg back, because that's one of those that first album for me, Wait, there's let's see, Wait is probably my favorite song in that album. Back on My Feet Again is another good song there. I mean, they've got several songs in that first album that are really, really good. Really enjoyed that. So I'm glad that Vandenberg is actually getting back together again, or not getting back together, that Adrian is putting Vandenberg back on the map again. We'll see if, this turns into anything. I know that for me personally, I will definitely want to see them jam a little bit. That'll be cool for me to watch them. Did you see yesterday what happened with the Knicks?
That was hilarious.
Well, and this is a double whammy now when it comes to the Knicks, right? Because yesterday the Knicks faithful started chanting "Sell the team," and it was captured and obviously posted on social media, as you always have reporters at all these games. Can we hear the chants from the Knicks fans during the Knicks-Memphis game last night? Go for it. So the team is down by 18 points. They're 13-36. Now, in all of this, they were talking that about 10,000 fans, they said, were in the arena that night or last night, which is not a sellout, which I think they're still kind of either selling out or close to sellouts every night. So I guess 10,000 are the ones that showed up and started chanting. But here's my message to you Knicks fans out there. It's your own damn fault, dude. I blame nobody but you idiots. And you are idiots. Just like I used to pick on the people that went to Marlins games. The same thing. And for several years, I kept telling Marlins fans, don't show up to the damn stadium. And I rarely do this, okay? I don't like telling people, hey, don't go. But I have no problem telling you don't go when the ownership is either incompetent or, like Jeffrey Loria, they're not trying to win. So why should you try to be a fan? Why should you pay? Just watch at home. You can suffer the same way at home. Why suffer after paying the entrance, the beer, the parking, the gas, the time, everything that you have sacrificed to be there? Why do any of that? Just stay home and watch it. It'll be on TV. That's what I would tell Marlins fans. So the 4,000 or 5,000, guys that or women that showed up, hey man, don't complain about the team. That's your stupid ass fault. You want to pay, you want to support. You're basically telling Jeffrey Loria it's all right to suck. It's all right not to try to win. And for you Knicks fans out there that you're showing up to Madison Square Garden for all these games, why? Why are you such an idiot? Don't you think that it would send one hell of a message to the owner if Madison Square Garden was empty? Can you imagine that? The only thing there would be the announcers. And all they would be able to do is hear themselves echo all throughout. And on TV, all you're going to hear are sneakers. And in the background, an announcer. Who, by the way, that announcer, all of a sudden, his tone or her tone will go down. Do you know why? They'll be so loud, the players will be able to hear them out. they'll turn into golf announcers. Well, he's got the ball. He's going to the hoop. Layup. Oh, it's been blocked. Look out. What a pass. It'll be golf announcers there in basketball. I mean, it would be hilarious. But that's my suggestion to any of you out there. If you have an ownership group that is not trying to win, i.e. Bengals, or you've got an owner that's a cancer, i.e. the Knicks, and a guy that doesn't know what he's doing, never will, doesn't really care about the fans, doesn't even care about their former great players, treats them like crap, like he did to Oakley, but yet you're showing up and packing the place. I mean, what kind of an idiot are you? So let me ask you something. Your wife is constantly cheating on you. You still going to love her and show up to the house every day and pay all the bills? Or are you going to tell her, get the hell out of here? Or you get out. Whatever, either one. I think you would go with the latter, right? I don't think you're going to be happy with a wife that is constantly cheating on you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not going to be happy with that, why would you stay there? Why would you keep marrying her? Why would you keep supporting her? Why would you keep paying the bills? Why would you keep telling her you love her if she's not loyal to you? So if this idiot is incompetent, can't win, can't do anything right, doesn't care about the fans, doesn't care about the former players, then why do you keep putting money into James Dolan's pocket? Like I told the Marlins fans back in the day, can you imagine the media scrutiny and the coverage you would get if your team had an empty stadium or arena every night because your fan base basically has boycotted you? Think about the message sent to that owner and think about what then the commissioner has to then do about that. He would have to walk over to Dolan and say, because he can walk since both offices are in New York. He can walk over to Dolan and say, hey, James, we got to do something about this, man. This is an embarrassment to your team, our league. People are watching all over the world. We're a global sport.
The biggest market is failing.
Right. We're soccer.
It's your agent again.
There we go. That's a trick. If your iPhone is ringing and you have an iWatch, cover it like this with your palm, and it turns it off right away.
And the James Bond smoke watch, it emanates smoke.
Right, yeah. I don't have that watch, but if I did, I would have gone like this, and then I would have gone smoke.
You know what I was thinking, oh? You know how they say love is blind?
Yes.
Do we have a blind-ass fan with these fans? Is that like love is blind?
No, because they're not.
Just blind-ass fans and they go.
No, they're just terrible consumers. That's what they are.
Oh, so they're uneducated.
They're dumb consumers.
Okay.
Right. That's the other thing. Let me tell you something. Any of you out there that are going to a game and you think because your team sucks, you want to be loyal. No, you're not loyal. You're dumb.
Go become Brooklyn Nets fans, right?
No, you're dumb. You're dumb. You're a terrible consumer. So what do? You go back to the restaurant that has an undercooked steak or cold soup? Huh? Is that where you got salmonella? You're back the next day? That's why for the Knicks fans, you guys can't be chanting sell your team and you're the moron paying for that ticket. You know, it's the airplane scene. Shayna, they bought the tickets. They knew what they were getting into. I say let them crash. You bought your Knicks tickets. What did you expect? The Knicks are the Knicks. James Dolan is James Dolan. You bought tickets for a Jeffrey Loria baseball team. What did you expect? Don't complain. Right? You married a porn star. She's not, faithful to you. What do you expect? I mean, that's just the way it is.
The first thing that popped in my head was the scene from Boogie Nights.
Right.
The guys, come on, can we talk about the scene for tomorrow? But man, my wife's down there on the driveway. She's got a blah blah blah. you want me to talk about the scene for tomorrow?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, man. Come on. So all those Knicks fans chanting, they're all idiots. Because they all paid to be there. Think about it. You paid to be at a Knicks game. You're an idiot. You paid to be at a Marlins game for Jeffrey Loria. You're an idiot. You paid for a bad product. Hi, how many tickets? I'd like 4 tickets for a bad baseball team that's not trying to win. Here you go. Hi, I'd like 4 tickets for a basketball team that sucks perennially and has an owner and has no idea what they're doing. Here's my money. Don't point fingers at anybody. Point fingers at yourself. Every Knicks fan should be chanting in there, why are we dumb? Why are we dumb? That's what you should be chanting. Chant that, man. That's the part that I find freaking hilarious. You're going to be complaining about an owner that you actually expected something out of? Come on. Really? You know, the Marlins fans that bought Marlins tickets expecting something out of the Marlins with Jeffrey Loria, you're probably the same people that said, yeah, no, sign Hassan Whiteside to that $100 million contract because he's going to grow up and really pay dividends. And then when Hassan Whiteside continues to act like a punk, don't point fingers. That's your fault. You signed them to that $100 million contract. Oh, Dion Waiters is a knucklehead. Well, that's your fault. You signed him to a contract. He was a knucklehead before you met him. Don't blame me. And don't blame them. Blame yourself for believing what you should not believe. That's a blind-ass fan. Thinking you're going to get more out of the Knicks from a James Dolan team. Thinking you're going to get more out of a Jeffrey Loria team. Thinking that Whiteside's going to grow up. Or that Dion Waiters is going to figure it out. Man, come on. You deserve the criticism for being that stupid. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. I tell you. All right, let's take a quick break. If you want to get in, it's really simple. You can get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. And let's talk a little bit about Moody S. Dental. I would imagine that if Eric is watching or listening, he's going to be mad at me because I forgot my Invisaligns this morning when I took them off to brush my toofuses. I did not put it back on. I'm so pissed, man. So pissed. My house is so far away that I can't go get them. But anyway, if you want to straighten out your teeth, all right, you got to call my friends at Moody S. Dental, 305-821-0231. They are the Invisalign and implant experts. Straighten out that smile, baby. Brighten that smile. Clean your teeth. Fix those cavities. Whatever it is that you need, man, you tell me. You go to Moody S. Dental. State-of-the-art equipment, too, and tell them that Big O sent you most of all. Tell them that we sent you. 305-821-0231 for Moody S. Dental.
Plus tax title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street, open till midnight.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
Metallica, headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. Go to welcometorrockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica, headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorrockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorrockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
We are back, baby, at Toyota of Hollywood. If you want to get in, it's really simple. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105.
Everybody just looked at you like we were at the poker room, bro, yelling.
Yes. That'll be tomorrow. Oh, did you just add golf announcer and relationship coach to your resume? Yes, I do it all, bro. I do it absolutely all, man. That's what it's all about.
He's chipping from 70 yards away.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's got his 9-iron.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Gotta definitely do that. So yes, we included all of that.
Definitely not Bill Murray. It's in the hole. It's in the hole. Cinderella story.
It's in the hole. It's in the hole. Cinderella story. Yes, all of that.
Cinderella story. Used to be a caddy. I think he's got about a 2 iron. It's in the hole. It's in the hole.
Yes, it is. I love that movie.
You like putting it in the hole?
Never, always. Derrick Henry is the man, the myth, the legend that they'll have to stop on Sunday. We're going to find out. Jeannie Buss, by the way, has released a statement. Let me see what it says about Jeannie Buss. And apparently she has commented on what happened with everything. Lakers owner Jeannie Buss says losing Kobe Bryant is like losing family. Jeannie has known Kobe ever since her father, the late Jerry Buss, signed him as a rookie back in '96, and they remain extremely close ever since. Jeannie took Kobe's death extremely hard and waited several days to collect her thoughts before putting out a statement, which she produced, touching, sad, inspirational, all at the same time. Kobe, I don't know how to express what you mean to me and my family in the Los Angeles Lakers, Buss wrote. My father loved you like a son, which makes us family. When you invited me to lunch shortly after my father passed away in 2013, I was struggling to find motivation and purpose. Buss admits. Kobe, you brought Gianna with you to spend some time with me. You explained that you wanted to show her that women can be leaders in the NBA just like men. At first, it seemed like an action of a devoted father setting an example for his daughter, but in actuality, I am positively sure you knew exactly what you were doing. What you did was give me the inspiration and strength I was searching for. I reflect on that day often, and it makes me smile and it makes me strong. I call on the memory whatever I feel down and need a bit of courage for everything you did on the court that filled me with so much joy and love. For all the lives you've changed, though, basketball itself, it was the day with Gigi that reignited my drive and determination. Vanessa, Natalia, Bianca, and Capri, I am sorry for your loss. We are grateful to have you in our lives, and we will always be here for you. To the families that also lost loved ones on Sunday, the entire Laker family mourns with you. Laker Nation, we are one family grieving the loss of people we love dearly. We will mourn together, cry together, but we will also heal together, love together, and win together. We love you. There you go. Hard to stay composed when you got to be reading all this. That's why I told you I'm Kobe'd out almost at this point. Like, I'm very understanding of everything that went on, but it's just, like reading that alone kind of, affects me, personally. So it's just one of those deals where it's crazy, man. Just to read that right there, it was already getting to me reading that statement. But Vanessa, by the way, also had a very touching statement, and she also started a fund for all the families. And I know Shaq is also dedicating the money he's earning in Super Bowl week with his appearances and all of that to pay for the funerals of the families too. So a lot of people that have power are doing some of the good things for the people that also lost lives in this tragedy, which was absolutely brutal. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, don't forget to also give us the thumbs up while you're watching the broadcast. But the Knicks fans chanting, did you see what was actually also a problem in that Knicks game? I don't know if you caught this.
Besides the Knicks team?
Besides the Knicks team, besides the Knicks fans chanting,
the owner sitting there watching the game.
Right, the owner being an idiot, all of that in that Knicks game. There was also another incident going on in that game.
Maybe they all deserve each other. Did you ever think about that?
Oh,
Maybe they all deserve each other.
Well, here's one for you.
Okay.
The Knicks, have been on the receiving end of an embarrassing 21-point loss to the Grizzlies on Wednesday night. Grizzlies rookie Ja Morant, fresh off a performance where his team outscored the Knicks by 42 points in his 27 minutes on the floor, exited MSG's visitors' shower irate for two reasons: no hot water and no water pressure. Come on, man. So, John Morant says, this is beyond me. The Grizzlies are actively trying to get both hot water and water pressure to take showers right now. He said, I've taken cold showers before, but at least I had water pressure. Morant, by the way, did not feel he got a quality shower, so he plans on taking another shower when he gets to the team hotel. So not only should they sell the team, they need to actually, revamp that arena and fix the damn showers. So John Morant, after, sweating up a storm, kicking the Knicks' ass, the guy wants to grab his Irish Spring, and have a good solid shower out there, and he can't even get a good shower at MSG. No hot water and no water pressure. And think about it, bro. You're up in New York. That's some cold ass water, dude. Okay? That's cold. That's really cold.
Is it possible that was maybe intentionally done
after the game?
Yeah, well,
that doesn't help you.
You just kicked so we're going to make your shower miserable.
No, I think it's just, I'm going to go with incompetence all the way around. It's the Knicks. They're not smart enough to do stuff like that because actually if you were smart, you'd do things to terrorize them before a game to get them off their game, not after. After does nothing except it adds to the embarrassment that you are. Since you are the Knicks, you're an embarrassment. You're pathetic. You're losers. And then your owner makes you even more pathetic and even more of a loser. So, and having, no hot water and no water pressure makes you a ginormous loser. That's all. So I'm going to go with loser all around because we are talking about the Knicks. And fans that actually are dumb enough to go support the Knicks. I mean, seriously. What made you want to buy tickets? What? What was actually inspiring you to go to a Knicks game? Really? What? I don't get it. There's nothing to look forward to. I'm just saying, I just got to throw that out there because I don't know what the motivation is. I don't know what the motivation is to continue to buy tickets to that place and support that guy. You get what you deserve if you're a Knicks fan. If your team constantly sucks and they don't do anything good, they're not an attractive team either to free agents. And yet Knicks fans talk themselves up like they're going to get the top free agents to go there or that they actually are that's my favorite part. Is when a Knicks fan actually thinks his team is relevant in any way, shape, or form. That's why they're dumb enough to buy the tickets. Because the 10,000 that are there buying those tickets or more, whatever, they actually think they're relevant. So if you're that dumb to think you're relevant, then I would imagine you're dumb enough to buy the tickets. I mean, really. Seriously. I remember that I've heard New Yorkers actually say that Knicks or New York fans are smart sports fans. Really? Really? So, meanwhile, you keep buying tickets to the Knicks and the Mets? And the Jets? Yeah, well, you're really smart. Those are really smart fans. Yeah, no, let me buy Knicks tickets because, James Dolan's going to change. Wow. That's an interesting one there. When they tell you that that New Yorkers are smart sports fans, trust me, there are plenty of articles out there that completely go against the grain on that one. Smart consumers. That one is that one's interesting. I got to tell you. All right, let's get into a little NFL talk. Can you pull up the Mark Ingram soundbite? I don't know if you guys caught this, but did you see that picture that went viral in the national championship game when Mark Ingram was standing next to Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry looked like this monstrous human being, which he is, but it made Mark Ingram look like an Oompa Loompa next to him, right? So Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, he just looks like a cool dude, and he looks like he has like a great personality, and he kind of showed it all throughout the year and his support of Lamar and all that. So he was on, I think it was the Fox set, if I'm correct, and they brought up that infamous picture that makes him look like a midget next to Derrick Henry. Go ahead.
That was weak, that picture. That's so whack. Obviously, he's 6'4", with cleats on, pads, a helmet, and I'm 5'10". Like, obviously,
with sneakers on.
Obviously. Yeah. So, obviously, you put him closer to the camera, put me further from the camera. The coin toss is in there, so I'm looking in there. It looks like I'm looking at him sideways. Exactly. Man, the whole thing was just a setup, man. They set me up. I get back to the sideline. I remember Landon Costume. He's like, "Oh, they got you, bro." I'm like, so it was like 30 seconds.
That fast.
They got me. Yeah. So y'all weak for that picture. Whoever took that screenshot of the TV, it was a screenshot of the TV. So whoever did that, come see me. I got business with you. Yeah.
He's got listen, most of us are going to look pretty tiny next to Derrick Henry, okay? And I'm 6'1". He's 5'10", and I'm 6'1", and I'll look tiny next to Derrick Henry. It is what it is, man. But at least he had a what's it called? A sense of humor about. I mean, that's all you can do at that point. What else? But he's right. The way everything was set up, the camera was on the other side. He's the furthest one from the picture, and he's the smaller guy. You know, if it was reversed, the picture wouldn't look nearly as bad. But, I mean, think about it. 5'10" to 6'4", there's already 6 inches there. And then you probably got to add, 80 pounds? 80 pounds and 6 inches, that's... and then you're also farther away from the picture. He was set up, yeah. There's no doubt that... Not that they were setting him up on purpose. I'm just saying that in that angle, you're set up to fail there. You're set up to look like you are a midget next to that guy. And then what it also reminds you is people have to tackle that man. Right? We've all played tackle football, okay? And I think all of us that have played tackle football, at one point or another, you played tackle football where you were mixed up with guys that were maybe a little bigger than you and older than you. And when you had to tackle them, you know what it was like. Can you imagine what it would be like to tackle that guy? Wow. Okay? That semi coming at you, and you got to try to bring that thing down? That's some impressive stuff right there. And there's a reason why these guys end up with CTE and they end up with injuries. And think about this. I put my shoulder in the way of Derrick Henry. He is crushing my shoulder, breaking my clavicle. I've got whatever AC joint blown out completely. He would do so much damage. I always tell people, you watch linemen that this thing called punch, okay, that it's not literally a punch. It's a punch like with your flat hands that you hit up on the chest of the D end so you can slow them down, and what kind of punch you have so you can have an impact. You know what I'm saying? These linemen, if they did that punch stuff to our chests, forget it, man. They would cave in my chest. They would crack several ribs.
Collapse lung.
Oh, for sure. That's how strong these guys are.
You'd have to have reconstructive surgery.
Yeah, man. These guys are monstrous, man. They're mammoth human beings.
You know, I can remember the first time being down in like that close and stuff. You took me to the Orange Bowl, Syracuse, Donovan McNabb, way back in the day. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we're not small people. I'm 6'2", you know? We're not little.
No.
Bro, those offensive and defensive linemen especially, like I say, dinosaur human beings.
Yes.
It's just absolutely ridiculous how huge these people are.
Yes.
And we're not little.
Oh, I know.
And they dwarf us.
Yeah.
So the average person, forget about it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. It's crazy stuff to face that guy, Derrick Henry. Man, I mean, it's to tackle that human being. That's another reason why I'm picking Kansas City this week, because what they did with Derrick Henry a couple of weeks ago, and to limit him to 7 yards in that second half, Kansas City's defense showed me they can get tough. And they're going to need to be tough this week against San Fran, because you can't allow Mostert and I know Colvin is injured. What's the name of the third guy that I'm forgetting now?
Is it Jones? Is it another Jones?
No, it's not Jones. It's Mostert, Colvin, Tevin Coleman, and damn it, he was the starter, the guy that I'm missing now. But anyway, one of you, can you put it on the text machine there, please? I know one of you out there that's watching and listening. You can send it in for me there and post it. But whatever, you know what I'm talking about. I think they'll do enough to stop those guys and get it done. You know? So if I expect them to do that, I think then it comes down to Garoppolo and Mahomes. And I think that's where Mahomes obviously has the inside track.
Coleman?
No, I already said that.
Breida?
Matt. Jess.
Your logic. Look, if you could stop Henry, you could stop any.
Yeah, but that picture with Henry and Ingram, that is some funny stuff. Love the way Ingram handled it, man. All right, let me tell you about VSS West Pines. We love talking about Jose and all the great people out there, Sasha, Tommy, Alex, just awesome people out there at VSS West Pines, Jason. Go to the website, vsswestpines.com. They're at 12397 Pembroke Road. Make sure you tell them that I sent you, whether it's roll your owns, cigarillos, hookahs, and they've got hookahs all price ranges from $19.99 and up, CBD, flour, tinctures, edibles, from chocolates to gummies, jelly beans, ice cream. Remember, CBD is not illegal. It does not get you high, folks. Okay, it's all natural, and it has so many incredible benefits. That's why we've been telling you about it for a while. CBD topicals and Salve for pain. 12397 Pembroke Road, VSS West Pines. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook, and go to the website, vsswestpines.com.
Well, Dallas Keuchel didn't.
Metallica, headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. Go to welcometorocvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty. Yes, sir. We love it.
Good timing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you knew that it was running out.
Yeah. Well, it's always good timing when new sponsors want to join you, which is a beautiful thing. Which I think we just added a new sponsor now that came to our dealership here to sponsor with us, which is it's pretty cool. So I appreciate it, and there are so many of you that are stepping up in so many different ways to help us, and we appreciate that. That's why we're growing, because of all of you out there and the connection that we've made for a long, long time. I can't say enough about that. And any of you out there that have a business, you want to be a part of what we're doing and want to sponsor it, and you know, a lot of Eric Murias that I just talked about, he's been a listener for 20 years. Eddie Pereira from Pallet Rock City, listener for years, decades. You know, that's what it's been a lot. The guys here at Toyota of Hollywood, a lot of them have been listening to me for a long, long time. And so it's, this is what it's all been about, man. You know, the friendships that we all have made, the connections that we have made together. And you guys are also stepping up and helping us grow here to give you the kind of coverage that you want, the kind of sports talk that you want. And by the way, more is coming. More is coming, because we're able to build this. We got some things planned. Okay. Montel Sutton says, "What's up, Big O?" Thank you, Montel. Tuned in for life. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I hope I'm around that long, my man. I hope I'm around that long. It would be nice. Do coaches strike too? I don't remember. If not, Finns could not be favored to win the Super Bowl with Flores' ability to win with scrubs. Hey, you know what? I kind of like your idea. I mean, if he won 5 games by screaming guys off of practice squads, and they get to a strike year, and everybody's got scrubs, it's kind of like Shula. Remember, Shula did really well that strike year, That's why that they got to the Super Bowl against the Redskins, because they picked up several wins. In fact, wasn't there a 30 for 30 about giving rings to the Redskins scrubs players? I hate calling them scrubs, by the way, but that was the term that we used back in those days. It wasn't replacement players. They were called scrubs. It really was. So cruel. Cruel in every which way possible. When you and I aren't good enough to even be those replacement players. Oh, man. I'm so impressed that we have a sponsor, a gentleman that came here for his business, came to look for us here. I am blown away by all of this every single day. Every single day, the response and how people have reached out to help us in all of this, I can't say enough. I really can't. It's blows me away, man. It really does. Anyway, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. At 2 o'clock, Dan Stubbs is going to join us, former Canes great and 49er. Oh, well, he was drafted by the Niners. He was also part of several teams, too, in the NFL. But I figure we'll talk a little Canes with him. We'll get his thoughts also on the Super Bowl, since he's also a guy that was drafted by the Niners. You know, what the hell? Have a little fun with that one. Did you guys see this? Expansion. They talked about Toronto possibly being an expansion team. Now, Arthur Blank was asked about this, and he was kind of, when he talked about it, he kind of talked about it in a light of, you know, it's got to be kind of an even number type of deal, because remember, they're at 32 now. So if you add Toronto, you got to add somewhere else, right? Another team. And is that the one you put in London or Mexico City or, you know, something along those lines? Because you're not going to just move a team, because that's the other thing we've talked about, right? That you got to move the Chargers, but the Chargers aren't moving. Spanos says that they're dead set on staying in Los Angeles, and if that's what they want to do, go ahead, knock yourself out. But, you know, they've talked about those are the teams that right now they don't have great fan bases. And Jacksonville, let's be honest, man, Jacksonville is not really an area that is suited for a professional football team. At least an NFL team. Maybe an XFL team, but not an NFL team. So Roger Goodell sang the praises of Toronto because they built a new stadium. And it says Falcons owner Arthur Blank told John Crick of the Toronto Sun that he shared Goodell's belief that a stadium was the key to an NFL future there, while raising the intriguing possibilities of more than the current amount of teams. I think it's a question of just trying to understand expansion and the implications. Having a balance, Blank says. You don't want an odd number of teams. You want an even number of teams. How would that fall out is crucial. I don't think anyone questions the size of Toronto's market or potential of the market. It's a great market and a great sports city, Asked to clarify the expansion would be a consideration, Blank said, yes, it could be. But I don't think it has to be, he says. I don't think the city could definitely support a team. There you go. So I think they would support a team. I think they could support a team. Toronto, it's a big-time market. But the question is, where is that second expansion team going to go? That's really the issue.
Go to Oakland or back to St. Louis?
No, you're not going to Oakland. They don't have the money in Oakland. They just don't, man.
St. Louis.
Okay. All right. I mean, they're all pumped up about their XFL team now.
Is Nashville or Memphis ready to step up?
No, Nashville already has it, the Titans.
Oh, why was I thinking them?
I don't know.
Memphis. OKC?
OKC's
you
pretty.
know what? OKC, they got a really good fan base.
Although You know, the other day I was watching an OKC game. There were a bunch of empty seats. Is that thing over already in OKC?
Wow.
Did they well, hey, man.
That was a really good fan base.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Why should that fan base continue to fill it up? They don't keep players. I mean, that's kind of goes – you know they have 8 billionaires on that team. Did you know that? Their ownership group, 8 billionaires. Okay? And those guys can't keep the players? Get the hell out of here. Now, apparently, they're now going to start keeping their players and all that stuff. I'm not sure. I need to watch an OKC game again from the start. And maybe you know what? I'm not going to be back home tonight. I don't even know if they're playing at home. But I got to see that again. Are they still packing it and standing until the first basket? Because the other day I turned on an OKC game and there were a lot of empty seats. And I was like, whoa. Like that arena's never empty. But then I started thinking, wait a minute. Did they finally get pissed off and they were tired of losing players? Did the Russell Westbrook thing put them over the top? Which, again, I don't blame them if that's the case. You can't keep asking somebody for loyalty when you're not giving them any. That's the weirdest thing in the world. No, we want you to be loyal. We want you to buy tickets. We want you to buy the shirts. We want you to buy the... But we're not going to buy players. Oh. I mean, really? Okay. We want you to, be committed, but we're not committed to winning. All righty then. Weird, man. So I don't know if that's the case, but I saw that with Toronto on the NFL side. And first of all, we can't find 20 good quarterbacks. So the idea that we're going to find 32 will never happen. So now we're going to go to 34? And I know this would also create, it keeps it even because you can't go to 30. You can go to 33, but you don't want to in a perfect world.
What about the London team?
Well, I already said that. I said that, is it London?
That was your idea.
Is it London? Is it Mexico? But you know what? But my idea is not one team. Remember that.
Oh, that's to have two.
Remember that. I said that
so
the day you go to Europe,
there.
you go 2 teams. That way, when you visit, you play both teams and you stay out there for a couple of weeks. And then you get a bye week and you come back and rest a week. And then you're back onto the season. That's why you got to have – and listen, if you add the 2 teams, you can then expand the schedule and add the extra bye week too to all of that.
I think we had even talked about setting up a third location.
Yes.
It's kind of like a homage to the NFL and whatever teams are over there can utilize that facility.
Right, they have a facility
Dude,
that they can use.
You know what? It would totally work because it would be something for the fans and also a place for the teams to hold up and have a dual usage.
And let me tell you, even in training camp, maybe a team in the country wants to now you know what? We're going to hold our training camp out in Europe this year. Get away from everybody. And they go to that facility just for training camp. And then fans flock over there to watch that team, practice for a week or 2 or whatever. You can do all kinds of things, man. But you got to I think the day you go to Europe, you have to go with multiple teams. That's just, for me, the automatic. Drewbo says, Lindsey Buckingham on SNL Classic skit. Oh, I remember that. Ty says, good afternoon, Big O and Bill. Thank you, Ty. Appreciate it. What else do we have here? Drewbo also says, Big O and Bill, did you see the Canes reunion special on Fox Sports? It was great to see those guys, but a little depressing to see how far we've fallen. Canes for life. Yeah, I saw that. And I saw what they were talking about. And let me tell you something. Let me get in a little bit into that because I know Barry Jackson wrote about it with Benny Blades and Ed Reed and all those guys. And they had the key point to all of this. They got to police themselves, and they got to care enough about winning and about dedication. See, if you're going to go party, like let's say, or supposedly Jaron Williams did the night before the FIU game, Jaron and a couple other guys, they went out and were out after curfew and all that stuff. And listen, I'm not for that, okay? I don't think you should be doing that. But if you're going to do that, okay, you need to be Lawrence Taylor. All right? You need to be Babe Ruth. You need to be, that guy that can overcome all of that. And if you're not that guy, then don't do it. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Michael Jordan was going to go play poker till 1 in the morning or 2. Then he was going to go to sleep, go through a McDonald's drive-thru, and put 45 on your head with 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Now, if you plan on going to gamble and hang out till 2 in the morning, and you can't put up to 45 points, you can only put up 4 points on 3 of 13 shooting, well, then you're not that guy. So don't do it, dude. There's only a few of those cats. Notice the names I mentioned, okay? Notice, because you're a freak of all freaks. Lawrence Taylor could probably be out drinking and snorting up a storm. And I don't know, sleeping with how many underage girls, I have no idea, but whatever. And then the next morning or the next day, he's going to ball out, bro. Michael, the same thing. That's how these guys were wired. Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was going to have a bunch of drinks, and then the next day he was going to knock it out of the park. And these guys, see, here's the thing. When I see Ed Reed and Benny Blades and all that talking about policing themselves, there's some of that, no doubt. But there's also dogs. And a guy like Michael Irvin was going to party, but he wasn't going to let down his responsibilities the next day. Again, Michael Irvin. We're talking about really special guys that have an incredible ability that they can do this kind of stuff. Very few guys have that kind of it factor that they can do that. Those guys can. And when these guys talk about them, they need to police themselves, I think the bigger problem is you're recruiting the wrong players. You're not recruiting. Jaron Williams clearly did not have the character you need. And that's what's going on with a lot of the UM players that are out there right now on this team. They don't have characters like winners. Too many of the UM players want to put on the helmet and they think they achieved what Benny Blades accomplished. They think they achieved what Ed Reed accomplished, and they haven't accomplished squat. And that's the problem. There's way too much entitlement and thinking that once you put on the U, it's over. And all we continue to watch year in and year out is watch the U get embarrassed. Because that's all that's happening. One embarrassment after another. They are pathetic. They can police themselves all they want. They don't have enough leaders there to police themselves. They don't have enough winners on that team. They don't have enough guys that know how to win that can lead other guys. And that's the difference. Whether it's Blades or Reed or whoever, they had another established Kane there teaching them the ways of the world and how to win. That group doesn't exist because they don't exist. There's nobody there. There's some quality guys, but they have not won. So they can't teach you jack. They might be able to teach you how to play hard, but they can't teach you how to win because they haven't done enough winning themselves. And they don't have coaches that have done a lot of winning. Right? That's the other thing. The guys you keep hiring, they're just guys. They're not established coaches. Like what Manny says every time on our show, that, his philosophy is at the University of Miami, in order to coach here, you got to bring a seasoned coach here that's been there and done it. Every time you bring a guy, it's never a guy that's done it, except for Mark Richt. And unfortunately, it's not Mark Richt's fault. He thought he still had the fire in him, and he realized he didn't. And I feel bad for him. I really do. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. So when Benny Blades and Ed Reed talk about policing themselves, man, you got to have character first. And you got to be a leader and a winner in order to do that. There aren't enough of those at the University of Miami football team right now. George Torres says, hey, Big O, do you think the Giants will be a bust in this upcoming season? I mean, why would we call them a bust when I didn't expect them to be in the playoffs anyway? I don't know. I can't call them a bust, George. Bust is somebody that's not going to live up to expectations.
Dallas Cowboys.
What expectations do you have for them next year? I don't really have high expectations for them. While they have talent, I haven't seen them put it together yet.
No, but what I'm saying is a bust. Dallas was a bust this year. You expected them to do well. They didn't even make the playoffs. That was a bust. The Giants, like you said, no. Okay, we expect them to be at the bottom, right there with Washington. They both, those two teams landed exactly where they were supposed to.
Yeah, no, I got you. But there's no expectations right now for them. So I would have to, a bust for me is somebody that you expect them to be in the playoffs, and then they're not. I'll go with Bill at least with Dallas because based on talent alone, you should be in the playoffs. Any coach, any decent coach should be able to get Dallas into the playoffs. At least. Playoffs. That's all. Nothing else. Not asking you to do anything else, but with that talent, hell, you should be making a run in the playoffs, but at least you should be in the playoffs. I can go with that. I don't look at the Giants like a playoff team, so there's nothing to bust.
Everybody notice said decent, not good coach.
No.
A decent coach.
Yeah, no.
Meaning, what's his name?
Garrett
not even a decent
Garrett
coach.
wasn't even a decent coach. No, he's not. Nope. Big money, sup, fellas. Thank you, sir. I don't know about big money, but, Bonaventure chimes in, says, what's up, NFL DFS? So he's chiming into NFL DFS on the chat board there. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. Yesterday we were at Caneswear, and we love talking about Caneswear. We love talking about Brett and all the amazing people out there at Caneswear. They know how to get it done. And listen, we showed you so many different products over at Caneswear. 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Go check it out for yourself, not just Canes. We showed you a whole bunch of Inter-Miami stuff, Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Miami Marlins, even Florida Panthers, too. Also, they've got several things for the Florida Panthers. Marlins is the one they've got only a couple things. But the Inter-Miami, they got a bunch, and wait till the jerseys come out in late February. You will be able to buy them there. By the way, they will unveil the jerseys on February 5th. That does not mean they're available that day, okay? It's like a couple weeks after that is when they're going to be available and released by Adidas. Just so you know, I just want to give you the heads up. We're literally going to get our jerseys a couple of weeks, like 2 weeks before the season starts.
Oh, do you think they're going to go with that black and pink look, man?
For sure.
That is the look?
Guaranteed, bro.
So that wasn't just a practice look?
No, dude. That's the look.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I like the look. Yeah,
I
got
the
no
black
problem.
and
Yes.
the pink.
Yeah, I think it's a cool combination. Yeah, I just bought the lanyard yesterday. The lanyard's cool. Black on one side, pink on the other. I like it, man.
Okay.
I like it. And it's not like a pink. It's like a rose pink, like a light rose pink. It's not really like pink, like bright pink.
It's not pinky pink. It's
not pinky pink.
Reddy pink.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. George Torres says, thank you. Hoping for a better season overall. We're going to get a better season. Relax, George. Take it easy, man. Things are getting better, bro. Things are going to be absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. You will see, my man. You will see. I promise you. Things are going to be out of this freaking world. All right? Guaranteed. Just got to be a little patient. That's all. And everything will work out. All right, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Go to 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Go see Brett and all the great people at Caneswear. Tell them that Big O sent you. We broadcast out of there every single month. Every month that I go there, I end up buying a thing or two because there's so many great things. That classic Dolphin shirt I had on that had like the wear and tear to it. It was really, really cool. So many awesome things.
The hat, man.
Oh, the hat was awesome.
Yeah.
The hat with the classic logo. You can find those things there at Caneswear. Tell them that Big O sent you. Our number 4 is next. Amazing. Dan Stubbs, University of Miami great and former NFL star, drafted by the Niners. He joins us next.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
All righty, welcome back. It is time to start off hour number 4, and I told you we'd be talking to my buddy Dan Stubbs, former Canes great, always kind enough to give us some time here on the program. And let's bring him aboard. Dan, how you doing, baby?
I'm doing good, my buddy. How are you?
I am doing great, my man. All right, there we go. A little all about the U. It's good. It's good. So, Dan, let me ask you, this weekend, is there any sentimental thing for you since the Niners drafted you? Are you a Niners fan on Sunday?
I'm completely a Niner fan and alumni of them. So I've been keeping in contact with them ever since I won the 2 Super Bowls with them. So that was the team that drafted me. That was a team that I associate with and an alumni of.
Okay. All right. So I figured that would be the case this week. And obviously, when you get to have success with a team like that, that's a pretty cool thing. So, what do you think? Can Jimmy G get it done?
I think so. You know what? The formulas that we had when we played in the Super Bowl was, we had Joe Montana and we had our offense, but people didn't realize we were always in the top 3 in defense.
Yep.
And my rookie year, it's so familiar of the game plan they put together. Because George Seaver came down my senior year, and they took me, Pierce Holt, and Bill Romanowski, all 3 defensive players for that draft class, and we ended up winning the Super Bowl because they needed help on that side of the ball. So when I see all the number 1 picks on the defensive line, I see a complete team. And, we got offense, and they run the ball more than what we did when I was there. But, I think the formula is there for us to win.
Yeah, no, Bill Walsh cared about defense, cared about the running game, cared about the passing game. I mean, he always had the balance. That's the one thing that it's kind of like those Lakers teams, the Showtime Lakers. People don't give them credit for their defense, actually. Everybody looks at their offense, but they were actually a pretty good defensive team too, and they would get some stops when they had to get stops. And it's kind of like your teams too, that in those days the stars were Montana, but if you really looked on the other side, Ronnie Lott and the boys were, rocking it out like you guys.
Definitely. And that was the one thing it was always funny. They kept showing highlight films. They're like, they don't show the defense anywhere. No. It's always the offense, and everybody, you play on the defensive side, you always grumble, but it is what it is. Offense, I think, sells tickets, and defense is what it is. Because if you take it from the last Super Bowl, it was all defense. And my friends are like, it's going to change around. I'm like, no, it ain't going to change around. It's going to be defense to the end when you get a game like that.
So, Dan, you played with Joe Cool. So is it Is it Tom Terrific or Joe Cool? Who's number one in your book?
It still has to be Joe. For him, my rookie year coming all the way down to score on that last play. I see Joe just when we played Denver in Super Bowl 24 just destroy Denver. We were 14. I think we were 14-point favorites, and I was like, that's crazy. And to see Joe just destroy people throwing the ball that way, and it's like night and day. Jimmy has to win one to become one. In my book.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there, and I got to say something, man, Dan. What John Lynch has done. Because at first I was like, oh, okay, another former NFL guy who's in the TV booth is going to make the transition and going to fail like crazy, like all the other ones have. My man, he has not. He bamboozled Chicago right from the get-go with that trade, and he hasn't looked back. That guy's made every right move for San Francisco.
Definitely. I was skeptical of it, too, him being a general manager and playing with Tampa Bay. And I'm like, well, what are we going to get? And then the way he built that defensive lineup and on that side of the ball to help out with the offensive side, to me, it's just been an outstanding job. He should be executive of the year in my book.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. My philosophy on this game is I know you're rooting for San Francisco, but I like Kansas City in this game, Dan, because of what they did to Derrick Henry. When they got tough enough to shut him down to 7 yards in the second half, I almost get the feeling that if you can play like that, can they do that to San Francisco and limit Breida and Mostert, because it looks like Coleman probably won't play, but limit those guys and then force Garoppolo to beat you. And that's where I say Mahomes over Garoppolo, and especially when we throw in Tyreek Hill. So you tell me why I'm wrong and why you think San Fran will overcome and win.
A lot of my friends were like, I like Tennessee, and I said, it's a mindset. You're going to have to stop the run. And Kansas City had the mindset, just like when I was in college playing Oklahoma, they were going to run the ball regardless. You have to have a mindset to stop the run. I think they'll take that approach to stopping the run, but also we got a completely different back. You got the back for Tennessee is a big kid, and we got slashers and cutters that can cut on a dime and make some room over there. And plus, when you're running the ball that much, you don't see. You're not passing the ball. I'm like, why even throw the ball when they can't stop the run? So I see them doing that. I said they lost. I think Kansas City lost 4 games. So I seen them get out physical and outplayed. And if they come in and they're going to spot us. They want to stop San Francisco with 21 points. Let it be. It'll be a whole different other beast coming that way at you. So I just think from a standpoint, we're a more balanced team. Can we throw the ball? Yeah. Can we put points up, throwing the ball? Yes, that's been proven. So, it's more another the least possible way of beating yourself will be our way. I think you're just being balanced, running, and playing good defense with them. They do got weapons. Tyreek Hill, they got like a track team. And when I wasn't pulling for the Niners, I was pulling for Kansas City because I like to watch them play too. So it's going to be a good game. Either the Super Bowl goes 2 ways. It's going to be real tight or it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
I hate to say.
Yeah, no, I can see that. It's just that for me, Garoppolo needs another one of those weapons. And you look at Mahomes, and while the tight ends are a wash because they're both exceptional, Tyreek Hill is like the ultimate difference maker out of that group.
Yeah, if they can get him on Richard Sherman and you got him in man to man, you're going to get some problems. But I think they're going to put a scheme together to make sure they don't blow it over the top with big plays. Try to keep them underneath, maybe jam their receivers. There's certain aspects of the game that you could be able to do that's it was still the same when I was playing back then with the Niners. You can if you have the mindset, you play the right scheme, and you don't give up big plays, and you make them earn everything, then, I think that might be something that is a good keynote for us for San Francisco to win.
Dan Stubbs, of course, joining us, a former Canes great here on the program. All right, Dan, let's switch gears a little bit here with the University of Miami. How frustrated was this season for you as a former great watching this team?
I knew we played a lot of people. It's like everybody else. You can't put it. We all know what's wrong. We all know the same thing. And, I thought it was promising when they played Florida and just barely lost. But, some of the stuff that's been coming out in the media about kids not, studying, kids going out the night before,
right,
and doing all this, and nobody's policing each other. It's just frustrating. I'm like, what hotel are they staying in where they're allowed to leave in the middle of the night? I know we stayed at the old Don Shula's place out in Miami Lakes, and there was nothing out there, and it wasn't even, nobody went out. And if you did go out and they asked what happened, we usually tell the media that, we don't hide something like, oh, it's internal matter. I'm like, no, the guy screwed up and didn't show up, or he didn't play right. So it's, I don't know if you're allowed to shame anybody, or it's not cool anymore. But back then, you got called out, and you got called out not only by us, but in the media, and everybody knew what was going on.
Well, you know how ultra sensitive these Generation Zs and millennials are. So if you call them out, you might hurt their feelings, Dan. You know what I'm saying? Like in our day, it's they could get mad at you and they could scream at you, and that like 10 minutes later, it was all going to be water under the bridge. With some of these millennials, this thing it stays with them forever. It like damages their psyche or something.
Well, that's a different two sides. Back then you want to be treated like a man. They treat you like a man. They talk to you like a man. And you know what? My thing is, I just still don't understand. Like, they practice so early in the morning, then they got rested the day off, and then they get to do that. I was like, we practice in the afternoon, and if you went to breakfast, because it was mandatory, and the coaches wouldn't talk to you or just gave you just like that pissed off mood, we knew all hell was going to break loose at practice when we got there. So it wasn't, that was like a taster of what was going to go on. So I've never been a big fan of just practice early in the morning, because that ain't going to make them go out, but they still find a way to go out. So if you're going to do something, I'd rather you practice in the afternoon so everybody knows what's going to come down the pipeline when you get there.
Dan, are they just recruiting the wrong kids, like character-wise? Not a matter of talent, character-wise, because I heard Benny Blades and Ed Reed talk about how they need to police themselves, like what you were talking about policing themselves. But in order to do that, you've got to get to the point where the guys that are policing are the leaders and winners of that team, because that's one of the things that you all had, that when you walked in as a freshman, there was a junior or a senior that was straightening you out and leading you to the right path. They don't have that cycle going on.
No, and that's it just puzzles me, because I was talking to a couple of friends, and the bowl game, the kid Rousseau played, but the two defensive ends are seniors. Are they supposed to be going to the draft? I'm like, you're not even better than the kid who's playing, but you're going to get ready for the draft and not play in a bowl game and show no competition. Like, you know what? I'm going to do this because I just want to win. And I don't know. It just amazes me. Some of these kids with not even draftable grades just say, I'm just leaving going to the pros. And I'm like, this ain't the old Miami where teams were like, oh man, you guys are so, when I went to the Niners, Coach Walsh was like, I wish I could get more University of Miami players, because you guys are already, you have the mentality, you're already prepared for the pro game, and your attitude is the one we're looking for as winning. And some of these guys, I don't know if they just think because they go to Miami, they think they're going to get drafted, or people are just talking in their ears. But I'm like, that's not talent. And I don't even know when the last time we had a first-round pick.
Yeah.
And that's how bad it is.
Yeah. Where are you with Manny? Because, like, I was so gung-ho about Manny. I love that they hired him. I thought he was the right guy. And I'm not for firing a guy after 1 year. But, man, I got to really question what the hell's going on. So I'm just wondering, as a player, what's going on? What's going through your mind with Manny?
I think he knows. he knows the tradition and the history of what goes on in Miami. I don't know if the discipline rules were, because you read so many things in the newspaper about what's going on down there. I think he wants to take a tougher stance on everything down there and be able to improve what he did. That might have been his mistakes. I remember when Coach Johnson there, we were 8-5. His first year, people wanted to transfer. It was, everything was under there. Then once Jimmy got everything under his control, under his thing, some of the Silverberger people were allowed to go. He just got rid of them and be able to put his own print on there. And then that was a whole different other culture, a whole different other scene. From the 8-5 year, then we go to the Sugar Bowl, almost win a national championship, but we ended up losing to Tennessee. So it's, that was like on the run because we just knew what the head coach wants, what everybody else was going to do. It was a transition year, but now it was, this is Jimmy's team. He's going to put his fingerprint on everything.
Were you on that team too with Highsmith and Penn State?
Oh yeah, we were there, and I had the fatigues on too. I was a 17-star general because I had 17 sacks that year, and yeah.
So let me ask you something. During that game, did anybody walk over to Jimmy and just say, "Please hand it off to Highsmith and don't do anything else"? They can't stop him. He's getting 6 yards a carry. Why is Vinny continuing? Do you remember the 5 interceptions against Tennessee the year before? Come on. I'm just wondering, in their sideline that day, were you guys as frustrated as us?
We were down at the end of the end zone. I was down there because we were sitting there getting the offensive play called in, and we're like, we're going to throw the ball. I'm like, they're running to the end zone. I'm like, run the ball to Highsmith. Just give it to him. Lag draw, just give it to him. Give it to him. I can see Alonzo trucking somebody for 3 yards and getting into the end zone. We're all screaming at Coach Johnson, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And when Vinny threw the pick, I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. It's only way I can say about that game is basically it was like a nightmare. It just started, you go in the locker room and you're just looking around like, what just happened? And then, the next year we had to write a letter. We had to sign a form saying we'll be good and no fatigues and none of that. So, and they got us shirts and ties to put on. And we're like, how do you tie a tie? So they had a guy sitting there tying ties for us for a hit shot.
I still think that's the best. I know everybody talks about 2001. For me, that's the best UM team ever. The one that lost in the Fiesta Bowl. I think that to me, that team was the greatest UM team I've ever seen, but I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I think so. And when you see some of the guys from the 2001, they keep talking. I was like, bro, we played a whole different kind of game when we played. It was, not only, you'd be self-defensive, but we would focus on some of your star players and try to, what's the best word? I don't want. What's
take
the best
them out.
Word?
Take them out.
Yeah, take them out. If we had to, and just get in their game and just completely, make them worry about what was going on, not on the field, but just the actual part, the hitting, the talking smack, this and that. Next, the guy's like not even paying attention and just getting beat like a drum.
Yeah, you guys.
So that's what we told them. I was like, we find if we have to stretch the rules a little bit, we'll find a way of doing it.
Yes. Yeah, you guys were good at terrorizing people physically and mentally at the same time because you guys did a really good job of, a lot of times you guys probably felt like you were already winning the game the second you stepped on the field. Not that you would coast after that, but you just felt like right from the get-go you had an advantage, in other words, mentally.
Oh, especially with a big game coming up. And if we're playing home in the Orange Bowl, that was completely, you would just be so pumped. The coaching staff will have you in a position where you're ready to go. And we always had a saying, like the night before the game, I was like, how much more film do we got to watch? I'm like, if you're not ready to play now, you can watch all the film you want to all night. You're not going to be able to perform. So, the preparation, to be able to tone it down, like Coach Johnson's like, we don't need you to, it'll be Monday. And he's like, I don't need you guys going all, we practice hard, this and that, but he didn't want us to expend so much energy that we didn't have nothing for Saturday. He said, I want, some hard practicing, getting after each other. But on Friday and Saturday, it's time to get cut loose. And I always tell a story about when George Seaver came to see me, at UM before they were doing an interview for the draft. He kept saying, like, how come what's up with you and all you guys getting all these 15-yard penalties? And I said, Coach Seifert, it's controlled madness. I said, from the 40-yard line in, you'll never see a 15-yard penalty. You never did see one, unless it was like something nutty. But other than that, everything was free. You hit somebody hard, get 15 yards. It was just part of the game. And I explained that to him, and that's how we played.
Dan Stubbs joining us. Dan, before I let you go, you see where you guys were at. You see where this program is now. But you also know that college football has changed. There's big money that's involved in all of this. I have a friendly term that we like to use for the unrealistic fan called the blind-ass fan alert. So I'm wondering, are we blind-ass fans to think that we can recapture the kind of magic that you guys had in the 80s or 90s? Or is this the kind of program now that maybe they can get back to the point that maybe every once in a while they can compete with the Clemsons and the Alabamas of the world for a national title? But those days of year in and year out, is it because they can't compete resources-wise? They probably won't ever be there. How do you view it?
I think it's more of a talent, and it's more another. I'm like, we have the kid Russo's a studded defensive end, but I'm like, we used to have a defensive tackle. You're going back to Eddie Edwards, Lester Williams. I remember saying he was the first one. We always had that. You had a linebacker and defensive end. You always had a front four, and then we had the quarterback position that was never like in chaos. We always had a stable. Only time we were winning, had a stable present at quarterback.
Yep.
And we're always going to have receivers. The linemen, we used to have nimble ones. Now we just got huge kids. So I'm just trying to figure out what kind of team we're going to be. Once you get that, and I think you get a class that can be able to stabilize what's going on there, and you can be able to add to that class, redshirt some people, add to that class, and do that. That'll be fine. I'm like, some of the prima donnas who, that's the problem. I'm not going to play. I'm just going to transfer. That's going to hurt you. But it's just strange to me how we get so many kids who want to go turn pro all the time, all of a sudden. Then you see kids at Alabama like, I'm coming back for my senior year. I'm coming back. I'm a 3-year sophomore. I'm coming back for mine next year to play and get a higher draft status. I don't understand how we doing through that, because I see Clemson players don't run out after 1 or 2 years and don't do nothing. They just don't. They are able to keep their talent, develop their talent, and get that talent to stay. And that's something we need to do.
Let's hope it happens, my brother. Dan Stubbs, the great Kane, joining us here on the program. So Niners win in your book. Where are you watching the Super Bowl, my man?
Being an alumni, you'll be able to get some good seats. So I got 2 pair of good seats from the Niners.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go check it out.
Nice. Good for you. You'll be at the game. There you go. Hobnobbing with the corporate folks. All right. All right. Good stuff. Dan, you're the best, my brother. As always, thank you for the time, the friendship. As always, you are awesome, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Big O. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it, baby. Be good.
Talk to you soon.
There you go.
Bye.
The great Dan Stubbs. What a good dude, man. Cool dude. Great person. Hell of a football player. Great voice, right? That's that deep voice. He's got that voice. He's a good dude, man. Really, really good dude. And I'm serious about that 86 Canes. That to me is always my favorite team.
Better than the 2000, 2001,
2001. Yes, 2000. I'll take that one over 2001. Yes. Yes, I will.
3 top 10s.
Yeah, I know.
In that draft, what was it? Highsmith. Which lineman? And Vinny. Top 10. 3 of them.
I think Jerome was in that one.
Jerome Brown. Thank you.
Yes, I think Jerome was there.
3 top 10 picks, brother.
The late great Jerome Brown. I mean, that team was loaded too. I mean, there were several UM teams that were loaded, but that one is my favorite, because that one, Jimmy lost that championship.
Sure.
Nobody else. You could say Vinny threw all those interceptions, but the only reason he threw them because Jimmy allowed him to keep throwing the ball, which was incredibly stupid.
Surprising that last drive, like you said, man. It was handoff left, handoff right. Highsmith, minimum 4 or 5 yards of carry. And why do you stop when you get to the 10, man?
That's what I had
thinking.
That's why I had to ask him, because they had to be thinking because we were all saying,
bro, what are you doing?
From halftime, we were saying, just run the ball, bro. Don't you see how the formation? They can't even get to him by the time he gets to the line of scrimmage. It's what Stubbs says. He was going to bowl somebody over just for 3 yards.
Yeah.
He was getting 6 yards a carry, dude. He was killing them. I mean, when you're averaging 6 yards a carry, there's no reason to stop running.
You got to think that the fact that he won the Heisman, he had the previous horrible bowl game. Here he is again to redeem yourself, right?
Basically, if we had Mike Vrabel, they would have won the championship. Because Mike Vrabel understands, when I run, I'm going to keep running. That's it. I mean, Vrabel played on defense. He knows how demoralizing it is for a team to run. And make no mistake, teams find it way more demoralizing when you're running the ball down their throats than passing.
No,
it's not even close.
When you can't stop them on the run,
yeah, because you're beating them physically.
You can see the body language after the play. They walk to the huddle. They have their head down, their hands on their hips, because they're getting their butt whipped.
Yes, it's nuts, man. Tell you, Matthias Jabs, by the way, from Scorpions, for a little music talk for you. He told WRIF radio station that they've got an upcoming album. It's due by the end of the year. It will mark their first release in 2017, Born to Touch Your Feelings. They're working on a new record. He says, we have to go to Australia, New Zealand, and some places in Asia in February, but as soon as we come back, we concentrate on the recordings. We're rehearsing here in Hanover, Germany, and then we're going over to Los Angeles to record with Greg Fieldman, who is a producer and who has produced Metallica and Slipknot lately, something with a bit harder edge to it than we've recorded the album in L.A. Then we go to Las Vegas for the Scorpions residency in July, and if we're not done by recording then, we'll have a studio on hold in Vegas where we could do some overdubs on the days off. So he goes, we know we're older, but inside we still feel young and we're energetic. The shows are great. We're writing songs and playing the songs. It feels like it always has. Very energetic and powerful. We still have great ideas, good songwriting, good at the moment, and the album should be very powerful. Okay? So he goes, it's going to be heavier than the stuff we've done in the past. A lot like Blackout and Love at First Sting. I know they're crying. I mean, it's hard to recapture. That Blackout album is just impeccable, man.
Impeccable. Oh, man. The other day when we were driving back from Mobile and we jammed Blackout, it had been so many years, man, since I had done that, okay? And, God, it just still sounds incredible.
Yep.
To this day. That album, like we talked about, Screaming for Vengeance, man. Those two, that year, you just put them on and let them go.
Yep.
Don't have to touch it.
No doubt. Mickey D, by the way, the Motorhead drummer, continues to be their drummer also for the upcoming tour. If you get to see them wherever you are in the world watching, because we do have people watching all over the world at times. All right, let's take a break here. When we come back on the other side, we're going to talk to Evan Silva, NFL reporter. We will talk all things NFL and Super Bowl with him next.
This is the Big O Show.
Tax title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty, it is time to talk a little NFL now. Evan Silva from Establish the Run is kind enough to join us now on the program. You can follow him on Twitter like I and so many others do at Evan Silva. Let's bring him aboard. Evan, good afternoon, my brother. How are you doing?
What's going on, partner? Ready to talk some ball with you.
All right, I like it. I like it. So let me ask you, first of all, before I get into the Super Bowl, what are you thinking about this 17-game schedule stuff that they keep throwing out there? I know that, what was it, Sherman thought it would be tough to pass. You tell me what's going to happen with this.
Yeah, I don't really have a great read on it, to be honest with you. Whether or not it's going to pass, I think that a guy like Richard Sherman would have a lot better insight into whether it does. I mean, you know, it's going to create more revenue for the league. The league is doing really, really well. I don't think that the league needs to add an additional game with how profitable just every aspect of the NFL is. And I'm like a big supporter of preseason. I'm probably in the minority on that. But I think that preseason is really beneficial for the players. I actually enjoy watching preseason games. I don't enjoy like going to preseason games. I went to a Bears preseason game last year, and it was not a great experience. So you know, I think they would probably take away one preseason game and add on the back end that additional regular season game. And I think that they believe that they could generate a lot more revenue with that one preseason game, with that one extra regular season game, as opposed to that one, you know, and drop down the preseason from 4 games to 3. So I think that that's probably their angle there. But I mean, I think that, you know, just increasing the length of the season for the most violent sport that we have, like outside of UFC, is, you know, not something that I think is beneficial in the long run.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, Evan, one of the things that, you know, I was talking about this earlier on the show, where I think it's not going to fly, is and DeMaurice Smith talked about how they could hold out for 2 years on all of this. The problem why the players continue to get their asses kicked every single time is 60-70% of these guys are only going to be in the league for 3.5, 4 years. So if that's the average life expectancy, one, you can't ask those people to strike for 2 years out of their career earnings, which is half of their career. You know what I'm saying? Or the mindset of all these other guys, because a Richard Sherman and a Tom Brady and a Pat Mahomes can think long term. The problem is 70% of their locker room can't think long term. They have to think of, I got to get what's mine now because that's all I got. And that's the problem that they run into. They have too many people in that union that have an agenda one way and others that have an agenda the other way. And that's where the fully guarantee kills you as a league. Look at what happens with all the other sports, even hockey, that's the lesser sport, but their money is guaranteed.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, and it would hurt me personally if the players went on strike. So, you know, I'm not speaking like from a biased standpoint here. I think the players should go on strike because I think that they have been just ground down so much. They just have so little power, and the only way they can generate leverage is to strike. So, I mean, look, I hope they don't miss regular season games, but I think they need to really stand up for themselves. And I think that, you know, potentially going on strike may be the answer. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when they have to go back to the bargaining table.
All right, so you tell me, Evan, does Drew Brees and Tom Brady go back to their respective teams? What do you think happens?
Well, I think that this is you know, it's going to be something that it's going to really heat up around the combine. I think, you know, when all the executives and the coaches are all kind of in the same place, and that's when we start to hear like rumors and reports kind of trickle out. You know, things happen at night. You know, get some alcohol involved, get people talking, and I think that we'll have a better idea of whether or not Tom Brady and Drew Brees are going to hit the unrestricted free agent market at that time. But as we're speaking today, I still think that the best bet is on both of those guys ending up back with their longtime teams on short-term deals, maybe 1-year deals. The thing is that the Patriots, all they have in the pipeline is the 4th-round pick Jarrett Stidham, who actually did look pretty good last preseason. But I mean, he's still a 4th-round pick, and wow, that would be, you know, going out on a real limb for them to attach their next several seasons to Jarrett Stidham. So I think that Tom Brady is likelier to be back with his team than is Drew Brees, because in New Orleans, in the pipeline, they have obviously Taysom Hill, who is 29 years old, by the way. I mean, he's not like a super young cat. I mean, he's not like, I know he just came onto the scene recently, but I mean, he was old coming out of college, and I mean, I think that they're going to want to give him a shot at some point. He's actually a restricted free agent, so they will assign a tender to him in order to retain him. It'll probably be about a $4 million tender to retain him. And then they've also got Teddy Bridgewater, who they could certainly re-sign for cheaper than whatever Drew Brees is going to cost, which is probably going to be right around $30 million. So if I had to bet on one of those guys to return to their longtime teams, I would say Tom Brady, because of the other options that the Saints have.
All right, good stuff. Evan Silva joining us here on the program. You can follow him on Twitter at Evan Silva. All right, let's get into the game here in my backyard, my brother. What are you looking at right now?
Yeah.
Kansas City favored by 1. How do you see it?
Well, the spread is right around a point or a point and a half. Last time I checked, which was yesterday, and I think that is pretty. I mean, you know, I think that's accurate. I mean, you know, there's a reason that spread has not moved a whole lot. It's really, it opened like right around a pick'em, and it's right around, I think it's 1 point right now. So the sports betting market, which tends to be pretty efficient, is basically saying it could go either way, and I think that that's true. I think that, you know, I've kind of thought since about week 15 that it's the Chiefs' year. That this is going to be the year that Andy Reid kind of gets the monkey off his back. That Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the game, is able to lead his team, because they kind of all got healthy at the right time. You know, Patrick Mahomes dealt with that early season ankle injury, and then he had the fracture, dislocated patella, his kneecap, and it came back. I mean, he's run for over 100 yards so far in 2 playoff games. He's 100%. Tyreek Hill had the shoulder injury early in the season, and he's been 100% for a few months at this point. Eric Fisher, their left tackle, missed a bunch of time early in the season. He's ready to go. The only guy that they really have that's really banged up right now is Chris Jones, defensive tackle, and he was able to play in the previous game. So I think everything has kind of come together with them. But I think that the 49ers are going to be able to score on the Chiefs, especially in the middle of the field where the Chiefs linebackers can be attacked. And they can be attacked by Deebo Samuel. They can be attacked by Emmanuel Sanders. They can be attacked by George Kittle and Raheem Mostert in the running game. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. My lean has been toward the Chiefs just because I think it's their year. But I really do think that the sports betting market has it right that it could go either way. I'm just anticipating a really good football game.
If Kansas City got tough enough to shut down Derrick Henry, can they get tough enough to shut down San Francisco and then force Garoppolo into a shootout with Mahomes?
It's maybe the key to the game. This might be the key to the game. The Chiefs actually, if you look at their season-long run defense, like metrics, not good against the run, right?
Right.
But over their last 6 games, down the stretch, they've held opposing RBs to 3.9 yards per carry. We saw what they did, as you mentioned, to the Tennessee running game, which was just a freight train in the previous 2 months entering that game. And they made adjustments. Like in the first half, Derrick Henry was getting his. But in the second half, the Chiefs were able to get a lot of backfield penetration and make sure that he didn't get that first step. And that because every time that he was just he was falling forward for gains of 4, 5, 6, 7 yards in the first half. In the second half, they started gaining penetration and getting in the backfield. And the Titans run a lot of that zone running game that the 49ers do. So I think that they're going to see similar offensive run concepts. But this is a Kyle Shanahan running game, and he learned it from his dad. And I mean, they have excelled with so many different backs, and they use a lot of different concepts in the running game. So it's not going to be. I mean, again, this is going to be the key of the game. I really do believe that, and I think that at the end of the day, the Chiefs will be able to contain the 49ers running game just enough so that it doesn't, kill them like what we saw happen to the Packers.
So what do you tell the wagering public there, Evan, with Kansas City favored by 1 and the over and under is 54? What do you think there?
I'm thinking the Chiefs side and the over.
Okay.
Of course, it's been bet in that direction. So that's kind of where the money has been going. I know the total opened at 51. I saw it at 54.5 yesterday in some spots. And it opened as a pick'em, and it's been bet toward the Chiefs side just a little bit. So that's kind of going with the betting market. It might be it might be the kind of the square side, but because it's been bet in those directions so far, so you're not getting equity on the opening line. But that's probably where I would lean right now.
All right, Evan, tell them about Establish the Run and what you guys are doing. In fact, tonight you're doing a little something.
Yeah, EstablishTheRun.com. That's where I write about daily fantasy and sports betting with Adam Levitan and a very talented crew of writers. You can check us out at Establish the Run on Twitter, EstablishTheRun.com. And we're going to be having a ton of XFL content soon. Right after the Super Bowl, we're going to jump right into XFL coverage. So if you want to come try to win some money playing DFS or sports betting on the XFL, come check us out at EstablishTheRun.com.
There you go. Evan, thank you for taking some time, my brother. We really appreciate it, man. Evan Silva, follow him on Twitter at Evan Silva, and go to the website, EstablishTheRun.com. Evan, enjoy the game, my brother. Look forward to doing it again.
You too, my brother. Take it easy, man.
You got it.
All right.
There you go. Evan Silva from EstablishTheRun.com. All right. Good stuff there. You also got to thank Dan Stubbs, too. Yes. Mr. Edwards also.
Nice finish, man.
We tried, my brother. We tried. We thank all the great people out here, man. Steve Ostrov, Herbie, Eddie, all the awesome people out here. Sonny out in service. Everybody out here. There's so many people. It would take me like hours just to name all the employees here. Just hours. I'm
going to tell you what, man. This place is cranking.
Always.
Like at 9 in the morning.
Yes.
Man, there's like 20, 30 people here.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking people who work here.
Yeah, no.
I'm talking people looking to buy a car.
No, there's easily 20 people there waiting for their cars now.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome. But then again, when you have that many cars, you can put up that many, great deals, and then you give a selection that is freaking amazing. Their service center is bigger than half the dealerships in town. The service center. Okay? I mean, the service center has 8 lanes.
Yeah, they don't mess around here, man. Everything
8 lanes.
Everything is.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the place is just, it's a mall. Seriously. Well, it dwarfs a mall sometimes, too. 400,000 square feet. I mean, this thing it's ginormous, man. Really. So we thank Craig Zinn and all the amazing people out here for making it nice and easy. Tomorrow, we're going to be broadcasting live like we always do at Craig Zinn Acura. Today is Toyota. Tomorrow is Acura from 9 to 11. And then we'll be out at Hialeah Park 1 to 4. How about that? We got it all going on, baby. Bill and John, as always, excellent work by you guys. We thank all of you out there for tuning in, watching, supporting, all of that. We appreciate it immensely. We will see you tomorrow, baby. 5 hours of cranking. Sunday, we're going to be on Mad Dog Channel 82 from 3 to 6:25, getting you ready for the Super Bowl. We plan on some big Super Bowl coverage, so I'm looking forward to breaking that all down and talking Super Bowl for a couple of hours with you guys. Thanks to Evan Silva and all of our guests here today. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same places, same bat channel. You be good out there.
Have a good evening, guys.